Good morning, everybody. How are y'all? I hope that y'all are having a great Tuesday morning. I got off of work early, like finished all my shit up so quick. And so I decided I am going to listen to this podcast with y'all because I had listened on my way home and oh my God, I only got like 20 minutes in and it is already infuriating the absolute shit out of me with the lies that I've heard. I kept clicking on your profile. It kept taking me to Krogi's site. What? Or Kroger's. Why did I say Krogi? Probably because Rogi's been a thing. Audrey, I think that Ken's sister is lying. I trust her. At this point, I trust her. I have not had a bad interaction with her. I've also spoke to her outside of lives. And I told her, and I'm pretty sure I said this last night, that if dropping the video is going to affect your real life, then don't do it. So if people are mad about that, they can be mad. But at the end of the day, it's real life for her. It's not for us. You said the same thing. Yeah. And people that are genuinely mad that she didn't drop it on their panel or at all, that tells you they're not here for, maybe they are here for some of the right reasons, but being mad they didn't get to see that crash out is concerning. What do you think about the podcast and her blaming us for making her famous? I haven't gotten that far in yet. Don't piss me off yet. We're going to listen together. Yep, I'm going to play it. I posted in 3 minutes. We'll start playing it. I did fast forward the very beginning. You told her don't let anybody force her into doing it. What interview? Gypsy Rose did a podcast interview. My face is so itchy this morning. Is it insane? It's been up for like 3 hours now, but I didn't get to listen while I was at work. Yeah, I'm early today. I usually come home from work and I take me a little nappy nap because early ass mornings, you know. How are we bringing down Morbid? I'm not worried about trying to bring down Morbid. I don't give a shit about Morbid. Morbid can continue to do what he's doing. At the end of the day, Morbid hasn't murdered anybody, so I have no reason to want to take down anything. You're going to hold my hand through it? Okay. I am going to be playing it. It's not just my nose that itches. It's like my whole face right here. I don't know. What did that say? I've not found a single positive comment on the podcast yet. Oh, no. Morning. Don't talk about him. You're sick of hearing him. Yeah, I'm sick of talking about him. He's using Gyp's platform to take down creators is what you heard. He's trying to take down creators. That is the craziest thing to me is taking down creators. Example, Reddit is like, oh, if we stop watching Audrey's stuff, she'll disappear into the abyss. What else did that screenshot say that I got? Not disappear into the abyss. I don't think that was their exact words. But anyways, basically, if they stop watching me, then I'll just fall off. Motherfucker, I was here before y'all. I had my app and my following before Gypsy. So y'all can stop watching me. That's fine. I used the black tea method on my son. I never thought to use that. What black tea method? I'm about to do it. They're jealous. I don't know if they're jealous or if they're just angry. It's just weird. Just like they're like, we're going to take down Becca. Did you see her numbers drop significantly? No. Have you seen mine drop significantly? No. Have you seen anybody that they've gone after have their numbers significantly drop? No. They don't hold the power they think they do. They're a bunch of freaking kindergartners who are like, oh my God, we're going to bully the world. Okay. I'm going to be listening to the whole podcast. Oh, good morning, Jameson. It's midnight in New Zealand. Oh, you've been waiting for my response? I was just listening to the podcast on another person's live, but way too many people in the boxes to hear. Yeah, I won't be putting people in the boxes. With that being said, it is 8 o'clock. Let's jump in. I did skip past his little disclaimer of there is SA mentioned and all that. So disclaimer, SA, medical abuse, all that's happening. This will be fun to debunk. Yes, it will. Okay. Let's go up here and let's hit play. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
One of the most recognizable, I think, figures in the United States. Gypsy Rose is one of, I think, the most recognizable names. Mm-hmm. However, I believe that there's a lack of understanding about who you actually are and what actually happened. Yeah. And that's the reason why I
notice her neck doesn't look 19 feet tall. That's a side note.
So intrigued and so honored that you're here.
Yeah, you can't see for a reason because if I show the screen, I get hit with unoriginal content. So sadly, you're going to have to watch my face react to it. I apologize.
To give us your time.
I'm happy.
All right.
I'm happy to get into it.
All right. Let's do it.
Yeah,
All right,
violation.
let's do it.
Okay. So could we then begin with your parents?
Mhm.
All right. So Dee Dee and Rod.
Mhm.
When did your parents meet, and where did they meet?
So
Before she gives the answer, they met in a bar.
my parents met in a town. I mean, very small
In a bar.
in Louisiana. Originally, they became friends, and then not too long after, hanging out, my mom got pregnant, and my father felt like the right thing to do would be to marry my mom. Even though, he was, honestly, he was just a kid,
Yeah.
So was your mom, in a sense. She was a very young adult. Neither one of them were mature enough. I say that as a teen mom.
He dropped out of high school, and around that same time, he got another woman pregnant. So I have a half-sister, and he realized...
Wow, she mentions the half-sister. Okay.
Oh my gosh, now I have 2 daughters to take care of, and
2 daughters to take care of. Bitch, what are you talking about? He signed over his rights to Nicolette. He didn't have 2 daughters to take care of. He didn't take care of her. Nicolette's mom did, but let's go on.
pay child support on and things like this.
He didn't pay child support either.
And on my dad's 18th birthday, he realized that he was not in love,
Still
that
cheating.
he married my mom for good intent, but he didn't love her. He wasn't in love with her like that. And so he ended the relationship. It ended in divorce. And my mom got custody.
Okay.
And I lived with my mom.
How do you think that impacted her?
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging?
In hindsight, I realized that, that must have been so hard on her, because there's not only that element of abandonment, but the trauma that my mom went through as a child.
I do need to get the YouTube subscription. I'm sorry. I'll clip those out whenever I re-upload this. But her recognizing her mom's trauma is interesting.
Herself. I think the hits just kept coming. And she loved him very, very much. So, looking back on it, that must have been heartbreaking. And I am a reflection of my dad. I look just like my dad. So I can imagine that must have been really hard for her.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think she looks that much like Rod. Maybe in this image. Hold on, let me show y'all. Freeze frame. Yes, Rod had 3 baby mamas. Okay. You don't see it either? I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay, let's continue.
Absolutely. What was life like for you and your mother in particular in those first 5 years?
This is an interesting part.
I would say that, I felt like my mom was my best friend. I felt like she was my protector. The childhood seemed fairly normal because the first 5 years of my life, my grandmother was still alive. And I honestly feel like when my grandmother passed away, my mom lost a part of herself that at least was keeping her together. Because at the age of 5, I was still able to be around my cousins. I have a very large family. Lots of cousins. I have 2 aunts, uncles. And then when my grandmother passed away, my grandfather got remarried. My mother did not approve of the new relationship, and everybody took sides.
Okay.
And then from there, my mom and I started moving around.
So her first thing is, whenever her grandmother passed away, everybody took sides because her grandpa remarried. So that's her first reason why they moved out. Just wait, though. It's going to change.
Interesting. And was that because you can no longer live in the house?
Correct. From what I understand, my uncle addressed all the things that my mom was doing at that point. He was like, why isn't Gypsy in school? You need to put her in school. I really just don't think she's as sick as what you claim. She's perfectly fine. She plays with my kid.
Real fast. Because I have listened to 20-something minutes in advance, I want you to pay attention to the fact that she just said her uncle says, I don't think Gypsy's as sick as you claim. But later on in the interview, she says, well, the first 5 years, I didn't really have any medical issues. So then how was the uncle mad about your medical issues in the first 5 years if you're claiming you didn't have them? Also, girl, you had issues from birth. Your grandpa let us know. But let's continue.
And he just put her on blast.
I see it. So what was your mother doing or claiming at that time?
Well, at the age of 5, I was still seeing many doctors. The list of ailments was not as long as it was obviously later on in life. But I had supposedly a seizure disorder. Supposedly I had leukemia, hearing impaired, vision impaired, muscle weakness. So all of these things I was still in GI problems, gut problems. So all of this was happening even at the age of 5.
Well, what about?
But she just, okay. Yeah, her voice is so shaky.
Do you remember, or what you've heard? What did the other family members, especially who were living with you, what did they think?
The thing about my mother's side of the family is they don't.
She
really
bashes her
recognize
mom's side of the
mental
family.
health problems. Obviously in the 90s, 80s, 90s, mental health problems was shrugged off and considered, you're weird, they put you in a box in a category that you're just crazy.
Yes.
Instead of it being addressed with therapy. And so that's the kind of box they just put my mom into. Even, her own family put her in that box of like, oh, she's just weird, she's just crazy. And so it's like, I think that they had a hint.
Real fast, somebody said they wish the Petries would sue her. With what's coming up, I hope that they do, because they absolutely can, because of the way the Son of Sam's law is written in Missouri as well as Louisiana. They can sue her for the money she made on this and the money she's made from any interviews. And I wish that they would stand the fuck up and do it, especially with what, like I said, is coming up.
That, this is not normal, but there's a lot of things that was going on in that family that was not normal.
Okay. Now, you mentioned there, and this is a term that I didn't know until doing the research for you, is so...
Doing the research? Sir, we better see the research in this 2 hours.
Yes, your mom wasn't weird or crazy. She suffered from a disorder. So this is FDIA, or Munchausen. FDIA, fabricated or induced illness, or FII.
So in his research, he didn't figure out that she was never actually diagnosed. It was alleged she was never evaluated. Okay.
And it's a severe form of child abuse or mental illness where a caregiver fakes or causes symptoms or illness in a child to gain attention or sympathy.
Contradicting her own book.
And it previously was known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Correct.
So from what I understand, this is what your mother suffered from. And I've seen reports that have said that she has one of the most, historically, one of the most notorious sufferers of this disease. And she...
Where the fuck did he read that? She had one of the most notorious conditions of this disease, basically. And on the day of Dee Dee's murder, of all fucking days. Nope, I haven't been putting out his name because I don't want him to make a hell of money off of this. So don't pin that comment, please. I don't want the podcast out there because she's going to see that, oh, there's a hell of views on it. I did so good. No, absolutely. Let's stop doing that. Let's stop giving views to the people that platform her.
She took this out on you.
Correct.
Okay. So the family doesn't know what's happening. They just say that she's weird.
Correct.
But as you mentioned, there's other things happening in the house. Can you talk about what was happening in the house so we understand?
This is the part they should sue for. Trigger warning. SA is coming up. CSA specifically.
As far as, my mother goes, she was supposed to be on medication. She was supposed to be on medication because she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I remember, there was a therapist that would come to the house, a counselor. And then when we moved from Louisiana to Missouri, she stopped seeing the therapist and she stopped being on medication.
Maximize your system before.
So now her mom was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. We've heard this before, but we've not seen it anywhere in her files.
Growing up with a mom that said, do you hear that? I hear voices.
Real fast, bipolar does not cause you to hallucinate. So Gypsy, you're so fucking full of it.
I'm telling you that
if you're gonna fucking make up shit, at least research it.
Doesn't like me.
No, she did not. Hold on.
That said, do you hear that? I hear voices telling me that there's 7 voices and 6 of them doesn't like me.
She literally copied the magnet in the crime scene photos. Shut the fuck. Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
Do I see that? Seeing things that aren't there. And I didn't see these things, so, it would kind of break my mom's heart when I would be like, no, I don't see anything. So it's definitely a lot of that manipulation. Growing up, my mom was like, your dad wants nothing to do with you. He has his family now. He's remarried. He's got new kids. They're his fave.
Girl, dad wanted nothing to do with her. That's true, because the chances that he had to see her, he found reasons not to. But her mom was so nice to her dad in the FOIA stuff and was literally like, call her anytime. Gypsy, that's not a mom that tells you your dad doesn't give a shit.
Britt,
yeah, Rod abandoned her.
And he doesn't love me. But I love you. I'm the one that's here day in and day out. Appreciate me.
She was the one there.
So it's a lot of that. And growing up, I didn't have a high self-esteem. Not because my mom didn't tell me I was pretty, but more so because I wasn't allowed to form my own identity.
More so because you wasn't pretty? That was mean. I shouldn't have said that, but I don't regret it.
And feel confident in myself, discovering who I am.
I see it. And even on that point, too, where you mentioned your mother, in essence, was isolating you right, from your father.
In essence. Notice how they've changed it?
Maneuver of abusers is the social isolation of the person that they're targeting. Yeah. And it's interesting to see a mother do that to a child. So now, if you're willing to talk about it, is that when you're talking about there's lots of stuff happening in the house. From what I understand, is your grandfather was assaulting people. Can you talk about that so we?
She's about to contradict her own book, so listen.
Can understand at what 6 or 5?
I was 9.
You were 9.
I was 9.
Okay.
My earliest memory of something just not being appropriate would be, around the age of 5-ish. And when after my grandmother passed away, it was me, my mom, and my grandfather all living in the house until he, moved.
Okay.
And so upstairs there's a bathroom on the 2nd floor, and it had a tub. And I remember my mom taking a bath and my grandfather washing her. And then she gets out of the tub and then proceeds to put me in the tub with him.
So mom got out of the tub and then put Gypsy in. But according to her book, all 3 of them were in the tub together. So which the fuck is it, Gypsy? Which story are we going with today?
And, I have this memory. Other family members have called me a liar.
I hope they sue you for it.
Because they're like, the tub was so small. How could 2 people fit in there?
Yeah, they lies too.
I was very little. And, obviously.
She was very little. Dee Dee was not very little. So they have a valid question. How did 2 people fit in that tub? A very tight fit. And according to her book, she was in there with them. But now, according to her, mom got out and then put her in. Okay.
Obviously, having my grandfather expose himself like that, I was so little, I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know anything about sex or anything like that. But he found enjoyment in exposing himself to me. And then
how does she know that? Okay.
When I was 9, after a bad car accident happened with me and my mom, she was left in the hospital.
You were 9 when the motorcycle wreck happened? How far in am I? 14 minutes. And I'm already pissed.
To take care of me. So my grandfather stepped in, and I went to live with him for a short time. And this is where the majority of the abuse happened. And I was confused about it.
Where can you look up this case? All over, everywhere. Me, Ashley Baby, Bev, Billy Knox. If you're wanting deep dive stuff, I absolutely recommend Billy Knox because she does go into the evidence, speaks about the evidence, all that. If you're wanting FOIA files to read yourself, now that's a different answer. That would be Into the Weeds. They have a link in their thing for their Google Drive. But if you're a listener, like I said, there's a lot of us right here on YouTube, or what? This isn't YouTube, this is TikTok, but I'm going to put this on YouTube. There's a lot of us that break it down in smaller increments, but if you want long increments, Billy Knox for sure.
I felt
oh, you're here.
Wrong,
oh, here she is. Look.
I wasn't sure exactly why I felt it was wrong. And it wasn't until I got a little older that I started, obviously learning more about sex and sexual acts that,
He did put up on the screen, Claude Petrie has previously denied these allegations. When was this interview? A week and a half ago? Which makes me think that that's what all this distracting was going on, is the fact that they knew she lied out her ass, so they were trying to keep everybody from watching this. But here the fuck we are.
It's sad that my first memories of that has to be like, oh yeah, that's what Grandpa did to me, And a lot of my family members are not speaking.
I'm mad too,
New
Orleans.
I haven't been so public about it.
Family members are not speaking out because she's been so public. Family members would typically speak out more because you have been public, Gypsy. Oh.
It's
oh my God.
It's so hard to hear incidents.
Do I think this will change any of her followers' thoughts on her? No. I think that her followers are going to be like, oh my God, that poor little victim, Geppetto. We should feel so bad for her and ride even harder on her little clit.
But then in particular, at 9, this is your family, and this is the only semblance of safety that you have, which is none. Do you believe your mother was aware? I know that you said other family members are in denial of this, but was your mother aware? What was happening?
She was aware after the fact. So I had on a car ride to the hospital.
I'm sorry, I just spit the coffee out.
I was riding in the car and I started to tell her about it, and she started to cry, and she asked me a very specific question, and I said yes, and she started to cry, and I started to backtrack. I got scared. I didn't want to see her cry, so I started to backtrack. I'm like, no, it didn't, and I just wasn't fully open with her about it because I could see how much she blamed herself. And it wasn't until much.
Could the family go after for Son of Sam's Law? Yes, they can go after and take her earnings. The way it's written in the state that the crime happened, as well as Louisiana's law.
Later, that she had told me, he did the same thing to her.
Wow.
And so she decides, hey, we can't stay here anymore, mostly because of the constant drama between her and my grandfather's wife.
So we can't stay here anymore was because of the SA and the constant drama between the stepmom, not Gypsy's stepmom, Dee Dee's stepmom. But earlier they couldn't stay because of the family, the brother specifically. Which is it? Yeah, it's not true. I know, New Orleans. You've been there.
Okay.
It just left the house very super uncomfortable, and so my mom just thought it would be best for us to leave. We stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in New Orleans for a few months, actually.
Okay. And for everyone who is not familiar,
16 minutes in, and she's about to speak about the staying at Ronald McDonald. She is saying whenever they left Claude's house, they went and they stayed at Ronald McDonald for temporary housing. That's not how the Ronald McDonald House works. It is for while your child or family member is receiving care, just so people are aware.
with Ronald McDonald House, can you explain
So the Ronald McDonald House is essentially a lodging home for children and their families while the children are going through their doctor's appointments.
Exactly, for doctor's appointments, not homelessness.
And it's at a short fee. So I think it was like $5 a night for us, I believe.
There is no fee to stay in the Ronald McDonald House. You can donate. You are encouraged to donate, but you are not required to donate.
So, you know, it's crazy to say that the Ronald McDonald House was kind of like, okay, that was my next home, because we stayed there. So
real fast, I would like to take y'all back to the FOIA stuff. Let me see if I can pull this up, because Ronald McDonald is mentioned. There's a message from Chance that says, let me see if I can find it. Oh no, it's not finding it. Okay, let's just look up. Either way, Chance K. Okay, let's look up the word K. Wait, let's just look up Chance. It's not coming up. But anyways, he messages and he was like, I remember Gypsy from whenever she was at the Ronald McDonald House. And I used to take her to go get McDonald's and stuff. And he says, or she says, I don't remember at this exact moment, but one of them respond about her having leukemia at that time.
So much. But then my mom found Section 8 housing, and that's where we lived from there. I feel like the constant arguments between her and her father, the learning of my abuse, just kind of all spiraled her more and more into this darker place.
Okay.
At around the age of 8 or so, went into the hospital for actually, I can't even remember what it was for, but I did a long time in the hospital. It was like a 6-month stint in the hospital.
Okay.
6 months.
And that's when they put the feeding tube in.
And you can't recall how you got to the hospital?
My mom drove us, but I don't remember what the initial appointment was for.
Okay, but you ended up then.
So she did a 6-month stint. That's when she got the feeding tube. She doesn't remember what it's for. Let me help you out. It was because you had food aversions. You wouldn't eat. You had failure to thrive because you also weren't gaining weight. Number 11 in the file, treatment. Hold on. Google Docs. Oh, thank you for sharing out the live. Shared treatment. Number 11. Look at Jameson. She's so fucking on it. I love Jameson. Here we go. Let me flip this over for y'all to be able to see. Number 11 talks about the Ronald McDonald. Chance says, hey, Gypsy, I'm Chance. I don't know if you remember me, but a long time ago in Galeno, however the fuck you say it, I knew a little girl named Gypsy. She looked just like you. I was about 19 at the time and drove a white sports car. I used to pick you up for lunch at McDonald's. If you were the same person, please, hello. If not, sorry for the inconvenience. Chance. They respond back, hey, Chance, it's Dee Dee. And yes, Gyp and I remember you. We have often thought about you and wonder how you were. It is so good to hear from you. Would you please give us a call? Oh, I didn't realize there was a number on there. I'll have to edit that out later. Anyways, Gypsy is undergoing cancer treatment. But there's somebody that remembers her being at the Ronald McDonald House. Okay.
Going in for 6 months.
Keep in mind, Gyp typed in all
Yeah,
caps.
a long time.
Thank you.
You were given a.
Thank you, Jameson.
And then you were placed in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the wheelchair happened.
It's not that it's still her number. It's that it could be somebody's number at this point. And so you can't do that.
There's so many different stories that my mom told different people.
There's so many different stories that you've told different people.
So the initial story that my mom told to family was I went into the hospital. Then upon having surgery, I had a seizure on the operating room table that left me paralyzed. That was the first story.
Okay.
That's what Gypsy told too.
Of course,
Thank
growing
you.
up, that's what I thought. I knew that I could walk. I just want to make that clear. I knew that I could walk. So then she goes on to tell other people, well, she was paralyzed, and doctors, mind you, tell doctors that I was paralyzed since birth.
Oh, wow.
even though there's pictures and there's family and there's all these people that had seen me grow up walking.
Right.
You mean like Rod and Christy, or like how Christy said on Facebook after the crime happened, we knew Gypsy could walk.
So then, what I believe is hard to understand is how do doctors then believe her enough to give you
This is rich.
to give you the wheelchair? How were they fooled?
My mom had a very, like, her personality was sweet. To the untrained eye, I guess you could say, she had a very welcoming presence. Everybody, it was like that classic Southern mom. Hi, sweetie, darling, sugar pie, all that.
Yes.
And there was one doctor in particular, that she honestly, I think, in my opinion, buttered up. She would buy him gifts. He would come and visit us at the Ron McDonald house.
Okay.
There was this sort of friendship that I don't feel is professional. You shouldn't have friendships with your patients.
Okay, I see it.
So Gypsy is talking about, in my opinion, one specific doctor. She's claiming her mother just buttered up. And this is a doctor that went to Missouri. So he treated her for over 17 years of her fucking life. She is claiming that her mother buttered him up and used sweet Southern charm to get her the diagnoses that other doctors, by the way, gave her because he was only a I can't ever say the fucking word. Dr. Beckerman, I hope you are listening to this, and I hope that you also sue her ass. Ew, I just spit. What the fuck?
And so, because of her charisma, right, she was able to, sounds like, dupe these doctors. Was there ever a moment where a doctor said no and told her no?
Yes, there was. And this brings us to quite a pivotal moment. There was a doctor, his name was Dr. Flashenstein, or Flasherstein, however you want to say it. And he examined me. He was a neurologist. Pretty sure he's retired now. But he asked me to stand up in his doctor's office. Now, I learned this on a documentary. On the documentary.
Exactly. Rod's exact words, Dee Dee was a great mother. Thank you. That's so sweet. Okay. She said she learned on the documentary that this doctor asked her to stand up.
About myself. I'm learning things about my own life in a documentary. And the rough part for me is, I have a therapist. And for a long time after watching the documentary,
Therapist is not
like,
therapying.
He's lying. I don't remember that. I never remember him asking me to stand. And then a few months ago, I was laying in bed, and I feel like I have two memories. And I don't know which one's real, but I think I maybe do recall him asking me to stand up. And I don't know if it was blocking that memory.
Or maybe you made up that memory.
But now I'm kind of like, oh my god, maybe he did.
Yes.
And I think I did stand up.
He literally drops on his screen right then. Gypsy reveals how she, what did it say? Oh wait, it says how Dee Dee fooled the doctors. Okay, it was quick, so I thought it said how she fooled the doctors. Ignore me.
Stand up. And he told my mom, point blank, there's no reason why she can't walk. She can walk, she's fine.
So he told her and she didn't find out in the medical files? Or did she find out in the medical files like you're about to say? Make up your fucking mind.
And my mom left. We never went to see that doctor again.
The comments under
But
it.
that doctor had put in the medical records, in his notes from that day, suspicion of mother with Munchausen by proxy. He puts that in the medical records. Now my mom would
And want y'all to know, this was in 2007, because what she's about to say.
always request a copy of the medical records after every appointment.
Not too late.
We guess, me, my family, my attorney, we all think that she's seen that in the medical records and chose to leave and not go to that doctor again.
Okay. And so when a doctor leaves a report like that, then where does it go?
Usually it would go to social services, family protective services.
He didn't put patient malingering on that one. That was a later note. He said possibility of Munchausen by proxy, comma, with some underlying unknown etiology to explain her symptoms. So he said Munchausen by proxy, unknown etiology. 2007. 2011, she was diagnosed with the microdeletion. So his ending sentence is very important because unknown etiology, problem, condition was later found. And that condition explains the fact that she had all these issues. The only one it doesn't explain is the walking. However, you can have muscle weakness. So it is likely that she was struggling to build that muscle, but she was not paralyzed. And we have Gypsy on video herself. And Dee Dee did call the next day to say that Gypsy had numbness in her hands. You're not wrong. I forgot what I was saying, but the problem was later discovered.
which they did come to my house. They come to my house. They separate me and my mom, her in the living room.
She's saying CPS came to the house 2 years later. 2 years later, they came to your house because the doctors wanted to make sure you were not a missing child or the victim of trafficking, basically. Girl, why are you lying? This is 2 years apart.
Me in my bedroom. They bring a sheriff or a deputy with them.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it was 2 caseworkers and a deputy. And the deputy was questioning my mom in the other room about why is there a E at the end of Blanchard.
Thank you.
Because it's just Blanchard.
Guess what? The doctors already knew there was an E because I've showed y'all where her mother filled out the medical request form and she put Blanchard with an E, Blanchard without an E. She put the birthday also of 1993 and the birthday of 1995 because our mother knew in the paperwork it was wrong. You know where it was always right though? Her Medicaid card.
Blanchard. There's no E at the end, but she had put an E at the end and essentially was,
Yeah, I'm not giving an engagement either.
Okay, so Blanchard, that's your last name?
Yes.
So Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Mm-hmm.
But she's including that.
Yes.
Gypsy did tell the investigator it was spelled with an E as well whenever she was arrested for murking her mother. So blame it on your mommy all you want, girl, but guess what? You were participating.
Throw people off.
To throw people off.
Wow, look at that.
And so they questioned her, why is the birth date different from this hospital to this hospital? How old is your daughter? When was she born?
Yes.
Where was she born? And she goes on to tell them a story about how, she had
I'm gonna
a
put it on
terrible marriage
YT.
with my father, and he's abusive. And she put the E at the end because to avoid him finding us. So I don't know what they told her, if they're like, okay, fine, forget it straightened out, I don't know. But in the other room where I was being questioned, they were asking me, is there bruises on your body?
Okay.
Can I look at your arms? Can I look at your legs? So I showed them my arms, I showed them my legs. And I was terrified of being taken away from my mom because my mom raised me to believe that child services, the state, as you would call it, is evil, is bad people. And so I was terrified to be taken away from my mom because at that time, yes, a lot of abuse was going on, but I also loved my mom very much. And
What abuse?
they were asking me questions that didn't pertain to my childhood life.
Who was holding her eyes open with gloves?
There wasn't physical hitting. There wasn't punching. There wasn't physical abuse.
Yes.
So I didn't think to say, I could walk because they were asking the wrong questions. And I'm not blaming them like, oh, this is their fault. I'm just saying I think that, in situations like this, Munchausen by proxy should have been looked at. If you see a child, supposedly with all these medical issues, you have a doctor that writes in his notes, suspicion of.
They didn't ask about it because that's not what they were there for, girl. Yeah, she hasn't mentioned being chained to the bed as of this moment. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, my gift gallery. Oh, I thought it said got lit up. I was like, what? That's crazy. They didn't suspect because look at her. They even say that she presented herself as being, I forget the term they use, but slower. Delayed.
Why are you asking
Thank
those
you.
questions?
Yeah, it's very hard to listen to.
Instead of asking me if I have bruises.
She says, so I questioned why they weren't asking me the right questions. Bitch, then speak up and give them the answers. The fuck? Thank you. Also, whenever they came to the house, Gypsy was 18 years old. She was a full-on fucking adult. They came in 2009. October, I believe it was. October or November. Let's see, because I have the image of it. October of 2009, when she was 18 years old. She was a fucking adult. So Child Protective Services couldn't have even done anything because you were not a child and they protect children.
If they had asked the right questions, how do you suspect?
I probably would have been so innocent and probably just told them the truth. Like, yes, I could walk. Not knowing because I didn't know what Munchausen by proxy was.
So she would have been so innocent and told them the truth. But just a second ago, she said she would lie for her mother. So which is it, Gypsy? This is so innocent. She loves to, I'm so innocent. I'm a good girl, Daddy.
When you reflect back upon the procedures, what were all the procedures that the doctors...
Ooh, we're about to get a list of procedures.
The most prominent ones were, of course, the feeding tube. Now, my mother claimed that I was having trouble swallowing.
You were?
Now, I have no recollection of ever having any eating issues. The surgery happened when I was 8. So, from birth all the way to 8 years old, eating perfectly fine.
Yes.
No issues.
She says the surgery happened whenever she was 8. Earlier, didn't she say it happened around the time she was 5? Because they got kicked out of their house at 5. And then they went to stay in the Ronald McDonald house. And after that, they went to government-assisted housing. So which is it, Gypsy? 5, 6, or 8?
Then all of a sudden, going to the hospital, having
Thank you.
issues eating. And they had put the temporary feeding tube through the nostril. And then the doctor said, we want to do something more permanent. How about let's do a G-tube?
Wow, I didn't realize you had a permanent feeding tube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You didn't
So
realize
they
it?
put
She shows
her
their belly
feeding
button all the time.
And I had that all the way up until the crime happened.
So all the way through your teens.
All the way through my teen years. Yeah.
So does that mean that you then never?
It's not that I didn't eat by mouth, but ate very little by mouth.
It's not that I didn't eat by mouth. Didn't you say the first time I had real food was in jail? What about them brownies you had with Nick? What about the pizza you had with Nick? What about the gumbo you had with your mom? What about the fact that cheeseburgers were your favorite food? Why are you always lying?
So I would like mashed potatoes. I was allowed to eat that. But
Royal mashed potatoes.
I was mostly fed through the feeding tube with Pediasure or Ensure, which is just a supplemental nutrition shake.
Okay. So
I made a playlist that keeps the party up till noon tomorrow.
Hold on, there's an ad.
Funky, sweaty, and new.
that was what, 9 all the way to your early 20s. So almost 2 decades of having a feeding tube. What is physically? What does that do to you?
I mean, physically, every 6 months I would have to have it changed because any sort of foreign object in your body, the stomach acid is going to erode it away. So every 6 months I'd have to have it changed, which is very uncomfortable. They don't put you under anesthesia or anything for that. And just kind of feeling the something foreign in your body, certain clothing I couldn't wear because it would snag and pull and tug. I mean, it's an open hole into your stomach.
Yes.
So growing up with that, it was something that I adjusted to. But it left me with a scar now that I don't have it. It looks like a second belly button.
Yeah. So then, Gypsy, what are some of the other
His lingerie.
procedures?
Okay, so if you notice, I have a scar. Okay, this is around my neck, and I also clear my throat a lot and have to drink a lot of water. So my salivary gland.
Yet we've made it 30 minutes into this interview and she hasn't taken a drink of water once.
That produces saliva was removed from my neck. My mom would put Oragel before we would go into the doctor's appointment on my mouth to make me drool. Okay.
If you are here and you are listening, Oragel does not work like that. It is not that strong. And it lasts 15 to 20 minutes while providing relief for approximately an hour. But it is not going to make you drool for hours. And Gypsy had a sleep study where they confirmed her drooling, and that sleep study was done overnight.
So upon examination, the doctor saw me drool. It's excessive drooling. There's a way to take care of that. So let's remove the salivary glands.
Actually, that's not what they did. They tried Botox first, dipshit.
Wow. And that's a major procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And you were how old when that procedure happens?
That procedure happened in 2007, I believe.
Okay, 2000.
Was it 2007? Let's go look. We just looked this up the other day. Salivary glands. Well, she started having the Botox injections in 2005. She had the sleep study in 2004 where she had the excessive drooling, which was causing, what was it? Hypo something. Anyways, it was disturbing her sleep. 2006 is when the surgery was. You are right. May 2nd of 2006.
And my mom always would tell me, I'm doing the
And sleep
talking.
disturbances.
Just be a good girl, play with your stuffed animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, don't say anything.
Right, and if you be good, which means stay quiet, we get to go to Toys R Us and a toy store as soon as we leave.
She was so innocent earlier, she would have told CPS that she was lying, she could walk. But here she's saying her mother let her know, hey, if you lie, there's treats at the end. So which is it? You intentionally lied, or you were so innocent you didn't realize things were a lie?
I would imagine, too, is that you're so used to going to the doctor that this is just a normal...
This is just routine.
This is routine. Mm-hmm. At home, when you're not in the hospital.
Yeah, her mom
you would
spoiled
then
her
just
ass.
remain in your wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. And our day-to-day life was me in the wheelchair. I didn't get up and walk around unless she was not in the house.
Oh, wow.
So if she left the house to, say, go to the grocery store for a second, I would get up and walk around. I would test the limits.
Yes.
Leg strength wasn't great. Obviously, because I hadn't been walking like normal. But just to kind of...
So she's saying she only walked when her mother wasn't home.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you ever think or bring up the fact that you could walk?
I did many times, and it always resulted in an argument. And it always resulted in some form of it bringing all of it back to her. Like, you don't love me. I'm supposed to be the one you trust.
The BuzzFeed article sent me a link.
But if you feel like you could go and do better with your dad, then go. Like, it was always like this level of manipulation. Like, any time that I would bring up, I'm not as sick as you're saying, it was always an argument. And then I felt like I had lost a mom. And I didn't want to lose my mom. And so, some would say I went along with that. Perspective is everything.
Yeah.
If you want to say I went along with it, okay, but look at the reasons behind it. You have a child that wants her mom to love her.
Thank you.
Yes. That really hit me because I see that accident.
Thank
I
you.
also see what was happening in her house. I see the circumstances in which you were born, unknowing what's happened to your mother, you know, in her childhood, and how each incident created to this spiral, as you mentioned, and you feel as if you're losing your mom.
Yeah.
And so you're just fighting to keep her. And sometimes fighting to keep her is just staying silent.
Correct.
Yes.
Fighting to keep her, but killed her. Okay, guy.
Did you feel love from anyone?
Oh, we got a violation.
Outside of the love that you assume that your mother was providing you, but did you feel love? And when I say love, is this emotional safety, physical safety? Did you feel that with anyone?
Back then?
Yes.
No.
Did you feel it with your mother?
Yes, for a time. Until I got a little older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you begin to not feel that love, and now that you reflect
you,
back
guys.
as an adult, is what was happening for you? What was going on for you as a child who doesn't feel safe emotionally or physically?
There was anger towards her for, I felt, allowing my grandfather to take care of me at that time, and so I blamed her for what happened to me with getting molested. And there was resentment that boiled up. You know, it wasn't there.
Yeah, back to the grandfather. You know what? I'm not going to comment on that.
In early childhood because I was so innocent.
Okay.
But then the more time went on, the more anger and resentment
Thank you,
built up.
guys.
Like, you don't let me go over to dad's and spend.
Your dad didn't want you to come over, Gypsy. I don't know how much more clear it could be to you. Your dad had every opportunity. Your mother created opportunities for him to take you, for him to let you go on vacations, for him to see you, and he rejected it every single time. Rod was a negligent fucking father. Your mother may not have told you he was a piece of shit, but I'm telling you, he was a piece of shit.
Nights over or weeks over with dad. I can never keep a friend. I might have a friend for a week.
You can't keep a friend because you're a piece of shit.
And then all of a sudden, my mom starts to get jealous of this friend. And we're talking a child.
Yes.
You know, we're talking an 8-year-old child that you're getting jealous of. And there was always something that was wrong or off about that child. So I could no longer have that friend. And it happened over and over and over again. You know.
That's why Aaliyah was a constant friend, Gypsy? Or was it because you were a horrible friend? Because we've also seen your post about Aaliyah and, that fucking bitch got what she deserved. You were a mean child. You were mean to people that were supposed to be your friends.
Most people have that best friend child, you know, the best friend growing up as a child. I never had that.
Never
had that. And that was a continuous cycle for everyone in my life.
And it continues to be one.
And so it's like I knew that no matter who it would be that I would get close to, it wouldn't matter because they would be, you know, it wouldn't be in my life forever. The only forever was my mom.
Okay. And
I'm so heated listening to this interview. Y'all, my leg is bouncing.
with your mother, it seems like everything then you did was with her.
Everything.
Everything. Even when you were in the same house, I read that you slept in the same.
Everything you did was with her? Did you run away with her to Dan? Did you make all those little gross videos with her? Did you learn all your corn stuff online with her?
We slept in the same bed. The only time that I was ever sleeping in my own room, in my own bed, was as a punishment.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is a small child, you know, I mean, young child. I grew up, I loved sleeping with my mom as a child. And I was afraid of the dark. And so a punishment of mine would be, you know, you have to sleep in your room. And I would cry and I would cry and I would beg to go back and sleep with her. But it's certain things in parenting that it's like you need to show your child gain some independence and not make independence a punishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I will imagine now, more so than anything, you're very aware.
Oh, yes, I'm very.
Yes, of that. What did you enjoy doing as a child?
As a child, you know, I loved playing outside. I loved, as a small child,
I loved playing outside. Let's rewind to, my mother never let me play outside. You
bunch of
lying little
and we'd
bitch.
do cousins by the dozens nights. All the cousins would come over.
She enjoyed playing with her toothbrush.
I loved to watch TV. I loved dressing up.
You still do
loved
that.
movies. Loved playing with my dolls and Hot Wheels. Like,
She loved Disney movies. But didn't she say on a live on this app her mother used Disney, like, to punish her?
my toys and my mom.
She loved watching people
my
suffer.
comfort.
Okay, and I can see how she used the toy store because that was it.
Yeah.
It was the toys. I loved a good Hot Wheel myself.
Yeah, they are big collectors.
Yeah, very good, very good. There's been an endless number.
Yeah,
of
force Disney on her.
TV specials, extended podcasts about your life.
Yeah.
It centers around your childhood, the crime. Is there anything that you want to clarify that you've seen or heard about in these
let's see.
documentaries that you do believe is inaccurate?
That's a good question. I mean, nothing that I could really touch on specifically. I mean, all I know is that, you know, from birth to, you know, 5 years oldish, you know, the simplicity of having my mom, even with the medical stuff. I loved my mom so much at that time. My mom was my world.
I see she was everything and the only thing that she had. Yeah. Real quick, hit subscribe and I'll tell you why. It allows us to the world. Subscribe. And so
What the
you then
fuck?
start dating.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Kind of.
How does that happen? And also, how does your mother react to that? Because you just mentioned when it comes to platonic friends, she runs away. So how do you start doing that?
Well, my mom, how do I put this? My mom was very anti-men. Once my father broke her heart, it's kind of like...
Was she anti-men, or did you run away the one man that had interest in her by spitting on him?
Like, I grew up with a mom that became
The fuck?
bitter. I'm just going to put it out there, bitter. That every man is a horrible douchebag that is just out to hurt everyone. So
if y'all have not read the prison emails, Gypsy talks about how her mother was dating a man, and it was serious enough for that man to make a room for Gypsy in his house, and she spit on that man. And she was proud of herself for it. So, Gypsy, you ran off your mother's options.
Oh, my mom never, my mom wanted me to be a nun, literally, and she was going to put me in a convent, so you did it.
You wanted to be a nun. We seen in the video where you said that. So quit lying.
Like, she really wanted me to be a nun, even though I never expressed to her that I wanted to be one. So, knowing that, I always knew she didn't want me to date. You can't stop the curiosity in a child or a teen. And that's where I was at. I was curious about the opposite sex. I was wondering, so-and-so lives down the street, she has a boyfriend. And I started comparing my life to other, people around my age.
By so-and-so, she means Aaliyah. Oh my God, if this person does not stop trying to request me. Hold on, I've got to turn that off.
Watching the Disney Channel, they have these sort of pseudo-boyfriends on TV shows and stuff.
Yes.
So I started getting curious.
With toothbrushes. Oh, thank you.
So instead of, obviously, kids meet other kids via school. I wasn't in school. So
You
I
were
went to the
homeschooled.
internet.
Thank you.
And I found creeps on the internet. I did things on the internet I'm not proud of, like take my clothes off for strangers. These men that I would, meet online.
Wait. Has she ever admitted to that? Or has it always been speculation that she took her clothes off for men on the internet? Thank you. I wonder if she's talking about Michael Keene. It's in the prison emails? Okay. Replay that part. I'll go back.
So I went to the internet. And I found creeps on the internet. I did things on the internet I'm not proud of, like take my clothes off for strangers. These men that I would, meet online, they were predatory. And I wasn't thinking anything different other than, yeah, this is an experience that I've had before.
So normal.
It was normal. So it's kind of like I made a secret Facebook account that she didn't know about. I was adding strangers on there, meeting what I thought would be friends.
Yes.
And then...
Yeah, the victim. Ask Rogie.
Kind of like, I don't know if you know what Comic-Con is, or like a sci-fi convention type of thing. So there was one that would happen in Springfield, Missouri every year. It was called VisionCon.
Okay.
And so anyway, my mom takes us to this convention, and we meet lots of nice people. We have a great time. I dressed up like a princess. Like, it was fun. I started adding all these people that went to the convention on my Facebook. Okay. And they would say, like, oh, it's so nice to see you at the convention. So at least there was some
Her mom took her somewhere.
interaction. Like, oh, you were at the convention, so was I. And there was a guy that...
Dan Gladwell.
He sent me a Facebook request. His name was Dan, and he was much older than I was. So I was real age, 18, 19. But my mom was trying to pass me off as 15. Okay, so he thought that I was 15.
Okay.
He was 36 at the time.
Okay.
And started talking on Facebook, and just on Facebook. I thought he was cute. And
Just on Facebook? Because Dan tells a different story. He said y'all were doing the video stuff. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have Facebook video back then. If I seen Gypsy in public, what would I say to her? Nothing, because I would make her fucking cry.
and he was kind of digging me too.
Okay. Is this your first kind of interaction, pseudo-romantic?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's her first interaction that's pseudo-romantic. She was scripting for guys on the internet. She just said that. So she had romantic sexual
So we
relationships.
flirted for a while, and then I started telling him more about my life. And my mom had caught us talking on the phone, and she threatened him.
Oh, well.
We only talked on Facebook, and then my mom caught us talking on the phone. Which is it?
And then I was going through my mom's purse, and I found my, my health insurance card, and it said my birthday was 1991.
She just admitted she knew her age. Boom. Once again, we have proof that at 18, she knew her fucking age. And like I've been saying, her insurance card always had the right birthday.
And so I'm like, that would make me 18, 19, not 15. So I tell this to him, and I'm like, well, that would make me legal. Like, I can go live with you.
So naive. She knew it would make her legal? Okay.
Like, you know, like all this sort of like ideas.
Yes.
And he's like, well, if you're legal, then you can just get up and leave. Like, you can leave. And I'm like, I don't have a car. I don't have a way to leave.
Yeah, but no
and so
candles.
He's like, I'll take you as far as Arkansas. Like, we need to live together on a ranch in Arkansas.
It's a farm,
So,
but
2 weeks go by. I get a text from him that he's in the hospital. That he wants me to join him in the hospital. He wants someone to be there with him. He got beat up. So I pack a bag. And in the middle of the night, I get out of my mom's bed, pack a bag, go out the front door, hitchhike, meet him at the hospital. And he didn't have a home. He was couch surfing at his friends. And so we go to his friends. They realize that I'm there, and they recognize me from the convention. And they realize this girl is 15 years old. So they got in contact with a mutual friend of my mom's. Told my mom where I was. 4 hours later, my mom...
I thought you wrote a letter and left it. Which is it? You even detail in your book what that letter said. Dear Mom, I know I'm an adult, or some bullshit like that. So which was it? You left a letter or Fran's called?
Comes to pick me up. And
I just want to add, you can't say, oh, my co-author messed up on that part. Because again, there was details of what the letter said.
She told me, she's like, if you come back with me, I'll let you see him. Manipulation to the fullest. So I get in the car, I'm like, okay. I mean, at this time, I'm like all courage, and I'm like, I know I'm 19, and I know that I can see him.
Yes.
And she's like, if you come back with me, I will let you see him. So I go back with my mom, and that's when I got chained, tied.
You know how much courage she had? A few months later, she shot her mother multiple fucking times.
To me, all these, words restrained to the bed happened for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
You were
Such bullshit.
tied to the bed.
Mm-hmm. So what my mom did was she took a dog leash and clipped it and tied it to a pair of...
She's saying a dog leash now. Didn't she say on a live, I never said it was a dog leash. I don't know where y'all got it was a dog leash. I never said it was chains. Here we freaking go. Exactly.
Like handcuffs, and then put it around the bed.
Oh,
and
handcuffs.
I would need to go to the bathroom.
So she made sure to incorporate the word chained, handcuff, and dog leash, all in this sentiment of how she was attached to this bed, because she has lied and said each one individually. So now she just tied them all together.
And do it, and then she had a way, because we were in the same bed, so she could tell if I would move or whatever, she'd wake up. And it was like that for 2 weeks. She put bells on the doors, and then eventually put a padlock on the door.
A padlock on the door. The only padlock we seen was on the medicine cabinet. There is not even holes around the door frames for previous padlocks to have been there. Gypsy, do you forget we have all the photos of your whole fucking house?
Blacked out all the windows with window tint.
We see that the windows weren't blacked out just a few months before the crime because, again, they were posting pictures on their Facebook.
And, that's when she started hitting me, though.
Yeah, CPS would see that too. Actually, no, CPS was 2009.
You know
This was 2011.
19, but she's telling you that you're 15.
Yes.
Your relationship with your mother, do you perceive her to still love you?
I didn't feel like it was love. I felt like it was a need. Like she needs me because she doesn't have anyone else.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be making too many videos.
So, after she tied me up, I gained enough
That's why I did the live.
where I'm like, I'm not going to leave again. I'm not going to leave again. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to leave. So that trust was built up enough to be let off the chain. But then it's soon after, I attempt to run away again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But this time, she found... And looking back on it, I'm like, why pack a damn bag? Just get out of the freaking house. Because I kept packing bags. Let me pack a bag.
Right.
She found my bag. And so she knew I was going to run away again. And I owned up to it, too. I was like, just let me leave, and you'll never see me again. Just forget about me. Just let me go. And
yet whenever her mother was looking up facilities for Gypsy to go to, all of a sudden she didn't want to go. She literally cried to Nick. I can play y'all the video, as a matter of fact. I just seen it yesterday.
And if you're fat...
And if you're fat, too. That was a weird interruption. Oop. Let's see. Where was this fucking video? Oh, fuck. I don't have it now. Oh, here we go.
I have my hard...
Oh, shit.
I have my hard times, and then there are people that can't handle it. Sometimes my mom, she wants to leave me. She wants to kick me out or whatever. She
wants to kick me out or whatever. She doesn't want me anymore. But also, you're now saying, whenever I told her that, she wouldn't let me. And somebody said, how do you pack when you are chained up? Exactly. Gypsy, get your shit together. The fake crying kills you, me too.
And she's like, I won't, and I can't, and you're not even. And that's when I proceeded to take a BB gun, and I knew full and well it was a BB gun.
It was a pellet.
It was not going to kill her.
G-U-N.
So
She knew full and well it wouldn't murk her mother. But in another interview, she said, I didn't know until after. Again, another fucking lie straight out of your mouth, Gypsy. I honestly think that at this point, Gypsy does this shit to rage bait people. She knows she's lying. She can't believe this bullshit.
a BB gun, and she came toward me, and I freaked out, and I released the BB gun.
No, you didn't. You chased her down the hall, and the evidence shows.
One hit her in the clavicle, one hit in the leg. They were superficial wounds. You know, they broke the skin, but ultimately a Band-Aid covered it up.
I'm going to show you all this report. Let me just type in the word emergency, and it will come up. She says one hit her in the leg, one hit her in the clavicle. Right? Yeah, Gypsy was the abuser the whole time. Here is patient struck multiple times with pellet GUN. No police report. Now, I want you to look at all those little dots. She's, one hit her in the knee and one hit her in the clavicle. What about all the other ones? What about all the other ones, Gypsy? You're so full of it. Let's continue.
And then after that happened, like, we both had this moment of, like, sit.
Go down to page 3. It says BB as well. I only have that one page. Billy, if you have all the pages, could you share them with me?
On the bed. Holy shit moment. And I was never the type to be violent. Ever. I never yelled at my mom.
Never the type to be violent? Never? Ruby would disagree.
I never hit my mom. It was at that moment that I realized that something in me snapped. That I could snap in that big of a way.
What was your mother's response?
I honestly feel like she never expected to be trapped in her own choices. Her own design was falling apart in front of her. And I don't think that she realized that, and I don't mean this in any sort of mean way, but I don't think she realized I had the guts to stand up for myself in any meaningful way.
And so, is it at this point where you then join the Christian dating site?
I did.
Okay.
About a year later.
Okay.
About a year later, I had joined the Christian website. And then the first thing that I noticed of Nick's profile is he likes to play video games.
Okay. You're chatting back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Does your mother become aware?
No.
No.
So I had a secret Facebook. I had, a secret Skype account.
Threatening to poke another kid's eyes out.
I have a conversation with him that
I'm going to turn off this light because it's
we like
bright.
each other in real life.
Oh, so wow, Gypsy. So how long had you and Nick been corresponding without having met?
It was like 2 years.
2
It
years.
was like 2 years, yeah.
You had never met?
Never met.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I mean, it was just like Skype calls and stuff like that, all on the internet.
Okay.
And so we made a plan, and I'm like, listen.
I'm locked into this part because she's never really talked about Nick. And she says, we made a plan. You have it, Google Drive, DD, under medical. Thank you, babe.
My mom is not going to just let me just date anybody. So maybe if she meets you, she could see what a nice person you are, and she'll like you, you could be my friend, and then, I can ask her if, you could maybe be my boyfriend. And then we wouldn't have to hide or lie anymore. Right? So we think of this event. Where possibly could I be and you be?
So she can go get fucked in a Disney costume.
Remake, the live action remake.
Okay.
That came out in 2015. So we decide, okay, that's where we're going to meet up. So my mom and I are going to go see the movie, and you're going to be there too to see the movie, but we're not together. We're going to be like, we never met.
I see it.
Okay? So
she's been a planner from day one.
Today, we're standing in line, getting popcorn and stuff like that, and he's there alone. But I didn't realize the optics of how that would look.
She looks so happy during this. Hold on. We're going to take the risk. She looks so happy. That's a good freeze frame. And appreciate that for a second.
Here's this guy that's alone, doesn't have kids, doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't have a wife, nothing like that. Just want to see a little girl movie. I did not see how that would be weird.
Until you got there.
No, until years later, they're like, yeah, that was kind of creepy. What were we thinking?
Do you see how happy and how lit up she is about meeting this person that she had murk her mother? Holy shit.
But my mom called it. She's like, this guy is giving me weird vibes. And so we're in the auditorium, and my mom and I are sitting next to each other. Well, he comes sit next to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My mom decides, hey, this guy's kind of giving me the creeps. So she moves 7 seats down. I stay put.
And leaves Gypsy there. Her mother's so concerned about this guy that she leaves Gypsy sitting next to this weird guy. Okay, Gypsy.
But I'm sitting with him. I'm not moving. She gets pissed that I didn't move with her. So throughout the whole movie, she's sitting there and I'm sitting over there with him. She's mad at me at this point. Like, I know I'm in trouble at this point.
Yes.
And he and I had previously discussed that we were going to have sex in the bathroom.
They didn't discuss a bathroom. They discussed a dark area, and Gypsy picked the bathroom.
So,
yeah, Nick said that that Dee Dee knew it was a date.
Go to the handicap stall. He follows me in. We attempt to have sex. Doesn't work out.
Okay.
And I go back, sit next
So
to
now
my
it
mom.
didn't work out.
She proceeds to take me to the bathroom on the opposite side, slaps me across the face, and says, "You are going to..."
Wait, what? Hold up.
Sit next to my mom. She proceeds to take me to the bathroom on the opposite side, slaps me across the face.
This is a new rendition. She got slapped in the movie theater now? Okay.
And says, "You were gone too long. What were you doing?" So I was like, nothing. Of course I'm going to say nothing.
Right.
So the movie ends. We leave.
She's always got to add something new.
And we have a huge argument at the house.
You and your mother?
Me and my mom.
Okay.
About how she got the creeps from this guy, like why I didn't go sit with her, like the smallest little things, which just kind of set her off. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to make a new friend. I was doing my best to kind of like bridge that connection because I really wanted both of them in my life. I wanted my mom in my life, and I wanted Nick in my life. And she was not budging. She got a bad vibe from him from the beginning.
You and Nick then just continue messing.
Oh, is she going to skip the story if she was locked in the shed after? I wonder why she's skipping that. Is it because after the Facebook data came out, we could see that she was actively on Facebook after this incident talking about how she lost her V card to him
Back and forth.
and was never in a fucking
This is your
shed.
boyfriend still.
Yep.
And then your relationship with your mother, does it continue to deteriorate?
Yes, continues to
She skipped that
deteriorate.
bit.
And we had previously, knocked around the idea of murder.
You did.
And it was all stemming from a conversation where he's like, it was an argument between me and my mom. Stuff got physical. She hit me. I told him and she hit me. And he's like, I'm going to protect you.
She got on a live and said, my mom never physically hit me. Now she's saying she not only slapped her at the theater, but she hit her, and that's where the decision to murk her came from originally.
From anyone. I said, anyone. He said, anyone. I said, even my mom. And he said, yes, even your mom. Like, I'll take her out too. And never thinking that was actually going to happen.
Okay. So for you, it wasn't...
Never thought it was going to happen, girl. You got the weapon.
It wasn't a serious thought until after what happened at the movie theater.
Okay. So really, so after the movie theater, then at that point, you were... Help me understand how it became a serious thought after the movie theater.
Because that's when I started to realize, like, no matter what I do, I will never be able to be my own person, never have my own freedom, never make my own choices. I'll never get married.
But according to her book, it became a real thought whenever her mommy was going to have her voice box ripped out, even though, again, evidence showed that appointment that she talked all about going to and how their conversation transpired in the parking lot and blah, 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 was canceled. They never even fucking went to it.
All of the thoughts of, like, what is my life going to be like in the next 20 and 30 years? Is it going to be like this right here? Is my life
So it was because
be this
she wanted Dick.
for the rest of my life?
Boom.
My youth gone. Any happy moment.
She literally just said it came about after the theater because she couldn't be her own person. It was never about medical abuse.
Future children, anything like this. How long is this going to continue? And that thought kept going in my
Thank
head
you.
over and over and over again. So yes, the desperate thought of, I want my mom out of the picture.
Yeah, her life
And
is a
it's
con.
I didn't want her dead, necessarily. If she would have went to prison, I would have been all the happier. But
Would have you been? Because didn't you tell David Blanchard, I didn't want her to go to prison? She's 23, dressed like Cinderella, faking being paralyzed, but Nick's weird. Exactly.
that, unfortunately, was a conversation he and I had.
Okay. So you had it. And also, I'm curious, Gypsy, at this point, you are roughly how old? Because I know age-wise, you don't know exactly.
I was 23.
She knew her age.
Okay, you were 23. So
Thank you.
This is even more...
Oh, y'all got my goal. I said a new one.
But you still feel as if you are trapped
Yes.
in your mother's home.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll never be able to leave it.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Okay. The relationship with Nick as well is, how would you characterize it? Because I've seen moments or excerpts where it's been characterized as abusive. But how do you characterize that
Toxic.
relationship? It was toxic.
Toxic. Very, very toxic.
Okay. How so?
Our personalities.
There, I did one that's a little bit harder.
Were not a good fit. Our backgrounds was not a good fit. I say, and I say this in my book, Nick was the car, I was the key. He was the gasoline, I was the fire. Separately, probably not dangerous. Together, catastrophic.
Probably not dangerous, girl. We seen the blanket incident. The fuck? Gypsy or Dee Dee did not have MVP.
And I brought a component to him that resulted in tragedy. His conversations with me was predominantly about sex. It was predominantly about overpowering a woman, because he had an interest in this BDSM.
Okay, Gypsy, we went over this last night. No, whenever you look at the dynamics, Nick was the master of Demona Loveslave. Gypsy was the master of Nick. That is y'all's own dynamic per y'all's own wording, y'all's own writing. So yes, a lot of the conversations were about sex. But you were in control, man, because you were the only real personality and Nick was the only real personality that existed in those.
Master-slave relationship. And he had this with his ex-girlfriends as well. So it was before me.
And you had it with Dan.
So this is not something I brought to the relationship. This is something that he had a thing for.
Dan testified that Gypsy was already into this type of role play in 2011, years before she met Nick.
And I had not heard of this sort of master-slave relationship until meeting him. And so I did what I could to fulfill that fantasy for him. And that included making videos that we would send back and forth to each other.
She's about to try to justify the videos.
To the public.
Is that because of the court case or for other reasons? Okay.
They are quite humiliating because these videos were intimate. They're not meant for the public. They were meant for Nick and only at the time. But anything from,
But don't forget, your baby daddy's the one who was like, I want the videos to come out.
Doing sexual acts to saying really disturbing things that I definitely regret later on now.
Right. I think what's important for us all to understand too is the context, because from what I understand is you had no one else.
Disturbing things that she now regrets. Is she backing off of the Nick made her say that whenever they have a future child, it would be their way to protect their son and for him to grape their future daughter? Disturbing things. Not Nick made me say these things. Okay. I see you.
Right.
So literally your world revolved around and your mother and Nick. Mm-hmm. Two people that
there's zero justification for role-playing child essay. I agree.
Do you believe they loved you?
I believe my mother loved me to an extent. I think that she didn't know how to show love. I think that, unfortunately, she didn't get the mental health help that she would have needed to understand how to love a child and
you can't keep up with her stories. I got 2 pages of notes.
Going through the childhood that she had. Nick, I do not believe he loved me one bit. I believe that I was someone who was in a very specific situation, vulnerable situation, to fill out his fantasies. He often had fantasies that were very disturbing.
Nick worshipped her.
Rape fantasies. And he was looking for someone who was not worldly and experienced. So someone in a very vulnerable state to live out these fantasies with.
People in non-vulnerable states live out those fantasies every day. It's called consensual non-consent. And to say that he groomed you basically is wild fucking work.
Or 2. Okay. And like I said, it would be one thing if...
Yeah, he wasn't worldly or experienced either.
Into the relationship that was equally as disturbing. Like if those were my desires, but it wasn't. And before me, his ex-girlfriends did warn me. There was an ex-girlfriend that did warn me that he has very disturbing behavioral patterns, and I brushed it off like, she's just a jealous ex-girlfriend, and I completely ignored it. And then until it was too late. And then also post me.
I wish Nick would write a book too.
He's went on to have another relationship. Prison relationships.
He had a relationship with a lady named Dawn Broker, and if you are new here, what you don't realize is Fancy wrote a contract with Dawn Broker and told her to provoke him, to get him to say the nastiest, most vile, disgusting things so that she could ensure he would never be free.
And where he continues the same
Somebody participating in consensual non-consent does not rise to the level of the fact that you and Nick both committed murder. You and Nick both. Not just Nick, you too. So let's get off of this whole kink shaming shit, girl, because we know you're into fucking dog play. So why are you playing around? You're also into calling your asshole your chocolate Pop-Tart. Okay? So stop trying to kink shame somebody.
Over and over again.
Okay. Going to the crime, what I understand was a catalyst for you also was it your throat that was going to be...
It was going to be like biopsy explored, and they were going to, have to do more things to my throat, but on my voice box this time.
Okay, so you were, so if you can take me to that, because it seems like that was an important moment for you.
Yes, like it was a moment where I was like, I already had throat surgery already, and it was a rough surgery, and so the thought of going through another procedure, that I'm like, well, this time you're gonna start messing with my voice, and that's terrifying. I felt like, how much more are you going to take from me?
And so, June 10th, 2015, if you can take me to that day, or even the preceding day, and walk me through it, step by step, what you were thinking, what was going on for you.
So I knew that was the day.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this. I have the appointment notes where that appointment didn't happen. Okay. That appointment was May 1st, 2015. 19-year-old with congenital muscular dystrophy, vocal cord dysfunction syndrome. Now, do you want to see what's interesting about that appointment? Let me flip my screen for y'all. Oh, shit. She details greatly in her book that they had this whole conversation in the parking lot after that appointment. Right here is that appointment. 5/1/2015. Canceled. They didn't even fucking go to the appointment. The appointment never fucking happened. Jesus, Gypsy.
I had been texting with Nick. He said, you might want to start saying your goodbyes. And so I just remember my mom and I said, we're going to paint our nails, we're going to watch a movie. And I wanted to make it a good night. Like, I wanted to make it a night that I felt like I would remember her for the good.
Nick told her she might want to say her goodbyes. That's really what you're going with, Gypsy? Are you fucking kidding me? Is this not you texting Nick? This shit's gonna go down tonight. Ruby said. You also are the one who texted him and said, I just told my mom her goodbyes. He never once fucking messaged you and said, tell your mother goodbye. You, Gypsy, sent this message 11 fucking years ago to the day at 7:31 a.m. to Nick, telling him it was happening today. This bitch, I swear to God.
She cooked dinner, she ate her dinner, I painted her nails, she painted my nails, picked out a movie, and laid down. She took a little longer to fall asleep, and I fell asleep. Then
I fell asleep? When did you fall asleep? We don't see a gap in the communications, bitch.
I woke up shortly.
I'm hyperfixated. I need a hobby. Well, you're here, so how about we just block you, though? There you go. Now you don't have to worry about my life.
5 minutes after she fell asleep. I texted him that she fell asleep. And I said, the gloves are on the porch. And he's like, okay, I'm taking a cab over. And he didn't knock on the door. He texted me, he's like, I'm here. So I get up out of bed and I walk over, open the door. First thing he said when he comes to the door is, this bitch is dead. And I'm like, be quiet, be quiet. And he's like, where's the knife?
There were no words spoke whenever he came in. They both agreed to that on text messages. I will later on today, I'm going to clip this part and I'm going to go through their text messages from that day, beginning to end, so that y'all can see how it actually transpired.
So I hand him the knife and he said, get your bleeping ass to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, I close the door, I lock the door behind me, and I just kind of get into the fetal position and I cover my ears. And that's what happened.
If and at any point you don't want to discuss this, we can move on.
Thought he locked her in. She's got rid of that story now.
Going into that day, it sounds like over the last maybe you've known Nick now for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yep.
You have discussed murder previously with him. Mm-hmm. He's had fantasies of raping, murdering. How did you know? Why did you believe that it was actually going to happen on this day?
Maybe.
I honestly didn't think that he was going to go through with it until it actually happened. And then after it happened,
you had sex.
Point where I didn't process what happened. He was walking around the house and talking at a normal voice tone, and I was like, "Shh, you're gonna wake her up." Like there was a level of
that's new
distance from the situation where like she was dead in the other room, and I'm still thinking, I'm afraid she's gonna wake up, see you in the house.
Do you want to know how afraid Gypsy was? Do you want to see what her internet search history was whenever they got back to the hotel? Let me just show you. She got on the internet and they ordered pizza and brownies. That's where you get the famous, right now he's eating brownies, but later he'll be eating me. But do you want to know what she Googled on top of that? How to make pizza porno. Yeah, really sounds like a disconnected person.
And, punishing it sometimes.
Did you go to see your mother?
No, I did not go in that room.
Bullshit.
Nick actually, anytime, because her room is like right here, my room is right here, and then there's a hall. And
you cleaned up the blood from the bed to the hall.
Anytime I was walking in and out,
you told people in jail.
Block the area, so I couldn't see.
Okay. Now, I know that you're aware of how severe the murder was. And I understand he used the knife that you provided him, and that the stabbing was so severe that it almost severed her head. Did he talk about
That wasn't a stabbing, that was a sawing of her neck.
the murder at all? There was no discussion.
No discussion about it.
There was no discussion. She didn't go in there. She didn't see the body, but she was able to talk about the neck on Facebook. I slit that fat pig's throat, is what she said. But Nick didn't tell you what he did. You didn't go in the room, but you knew enough to post that. Okay.
Not after the fact, no.
Okay. Did you, when in the bathroom? Because I would imagine there was a tussle. There was a fight that ensued. Did you hear anything?
Yes.
You did. What can you say? What did you hear?
I heard screaming, and it was like horrible sound. It was a horrible sound. It was screaming. It was shock. I almost think I heard, "Who are you?"
Oh, now we're...
asked. And I am right, because according to some of the transcripts of Nick's testimony and other inmates that had talked to him, she had asked, "Who are you?" And he responded, "I am death." So I do know that was probably what I heard. And I remember her calling out for my name, and like I wanted to go and help her. Like I felt like I wanted to go and help her, but I was terrified at the same time. Like my body was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I just kept remember, breathe. Remember to just breathe. And I kept telling myself in that mind, just breathe. And I was so focused on like trying to breathe and block it out.
Yeah, she does conveniently forget that her mother's last words to her was, "Gypsy, please don't hurt me." Why would your mother say that? Yeah, another lie.
Ow. And I just remember one sharp scream and then nothing after that. And then I realized that...
Didn't she say in another interview she could hear gurgled yelling, one sharp scream, and that was it? Feeling more relaxed, don't hurt me. Yeah. It's pissing me off, too.
And then he came to the bathroom door and knocked for me to open up the door.
What did he say to you?
He didn't, I don't think, say anything. He had cut his finger, and so he wanted me to bandage him up, and he wanted me to be completely naked when I opened up the door. And so I was completely naked, and he wanted me to hug him. So there was this sort of embrace where it was...
Is who morbid?
I was in a state of shock that I couldn't believe what happened.
And he...
Not a single tear, didn't choke up. Her voice was more shaky in the beginning than it is now.
Desires and BDSM and what he had said to you previously. Now I understand why he said, when I come to the door, you should be naked. I understand that he then assaulted you.
Yes, that specifically was...
No, he did not assault her. He did not. She testified on the stand. It was consensual. They had consensual sex after. And we've seen from the crime scene photos, Gypsy nutted all over that.
Really difficult, because prior to having the crime happen, he wanted to assault my mom. That was his fantasy.
We've not seen that anywhere.
I felt like that was too far. I was like, no, I will not, do it to me instead. And he said, fine.
These meals changed everything for me. I'll admit it. I was skeptical about ready-to-eat meals, but then I tried...
That's the price you have to pay. If you don't want me to do that to your mom, you're going to have to let me do it to you. And I agreed.
Where is that conversation?
So come to that point, keep in mind, I was a virgin. Come to that point, I guess I agreed.
Were you a virgin, or did his flaccid wiener go in you at the theater? Because, girl, it can't be both ways. Also, you're not a virgin if you're shoving bananas and stuff up your hoo-ha, which we know you were.
It's something I didn't fully understand. And that's all I'll say about that. And what's even more horrible is I had to testify in court. And I'm going to be open and honest and say that I had to basically say he didn't rape me. Because
it was consensual non-consent.
So even though I said stop, I said no, stop, you're hurting me. But because...
He does put up on the screen, I will give him credit for this. Let me show you. Nicholas Godejohn has disputed Gypsy Rose's account of the encounter. So I will give him credit. He did put that on the screen. Yeah, prison bananas too.
I previously agreed to it. Now I'm confused. What is consensual?
I thought consent is given and removed in a moment's notice.
I thought so too, but apparently not in the court's eyes.
So because you had what verbally or in a text said that you were open to having sex, that gave him open consent.
Yep. And in the eyes of the court, they feel the same way too.
This started about an hour ago.
I said stop. And they said, did he whip you? And they have evidence that I agreed to it. So I said no, knowing full and well he did.
I think this is in court. This is in what state was this? This is
About her lies about her
Missouri.
grandpa
Okay.
supposedly molesting her.
Yeah,
That what happened in the
that's-
beginning.
That's horrendous.
Oh, that's a good point, though. She wouldn't be a virgin if her grandpa had molested her. Thank you, Tamara. Tamara, whichever way you say it.
After the assault, how do you feel in that moment? If you could go back.
It was also, you have to understand that there was this assault, and yes, there was the crime. But Nick had also claimed that he has multiple personalities. So during this whole time, he's switching back and forth between personalities.
As were you.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Split.
Yeah, safe word video.
Things like that, where you can just change just like that. So the person that murdered my mother, his name is Victor, not Nick. Okay? Person who assaulted me, it's Victor, not Nick. So in my mind, these are two completely different people. I'm not looking at the person that just assaulted me and Nick is being the same person. I'm thinking, okay, one means to hurt me, but also save me.
Yeah, here
and
we
the
go.
other one is just, the Nick that I had been talking to for 2+ years. So I was compartmentalizing at the time.
Okay. And at the time, did you believe that he was multiple people in essence?
Yes.
Okay, you did.
I
Okay.
fully believed it. Like I said, I grew up with a mom that heard voices, saw things. So I was pretty gullible to just believe about anything.
Okay. Now I see. So then what do you two do at this point?
So we go back because he was staying at a hotel.
To the hotel. They order brownies.
Down nearby. So we go back to the hotel. And I also had been self-medicating. I had developed a addiction to opiates. So I was taking 3 Xanaxes and Vicodins all together. And I was very, very high after the fact.
But her mommy was doing it.
Ordering pizza, giggling, laughing.
Trying to make pizza porn.
Okay. And this is in the house?
No.
In the hotel?
In the hotel.
In the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next day.
And so you both left your mother's body in the house?
Yep.
Was there thoughts on we're going to cover this up, or the thought was there was no thought?
There was no thought.
It was just
live, and every step was not planned. It was literally after
The brownie video.
It was run to a different state. Forget about it. It didn't exist.
What about a Facebook post? I'll
so you
play
went to the
one.
hotel, ordered pizza. You're just
Chilling,
watching shows, having a good time.
Yeah, she did drop the AC down.
So then, 24 hours at a certain point, you post, or who? One of the two post. You post. Okay, and what do you post?
So we were already back in Wisconsin at this time. That's where he lived.
Okay.
And I logged into my mom's Facebook account because I did not like the idea of her just being there. I felt very unsettled, very uncomfortable with it. Like that level of remorse.
Now you
like,
have
I want her found. She
a
deserves a proper
conscience.
burial. So I want her found. So I log into her Facebook account, and I think back to what he said when he came in the house. The bitch is dead. So that's what I put. My mom hardly ever
Thank
cussed,
you.
especially
The
around
world
me.
according to Vic.
So that's what I put to seem alarming. So the authorities could go and find her, and then she could be given a burial.
What about? Did you discuss that with Nick to post? Was that where that was just you?
I'm pretty sure that was just me.
Okay. Did it draw the authorities?
It did.
Okay.
Ultimately, the goal that I wanted to have her found happened.
Okay. So
So she did it to have her mother found. Then Gypsy, why did you also make this comment where you put, I fucking slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so fucking loud. LOL. That's not about having your mother found. Bitch, that's about being proud of what you did.
she's found by police.
Mhm.
All right. But then what happens to you?
Yep,
then?
Gypsy typed that.
My
My mod should be in
I
here.
was missing. So to the authorities, I was missing.
Who do I need to get?
Now, also, you have to understand that my brain was not functioning in a logical way because I went around the house before we left the scene, taking down all the pictures of me, thinking that I would not exist if there would just be no pictures of me around the house.
Their name is Smart.
Didn't make sense at all. So days go by, they think I'm missing. Then all of a sudden, they track the IP address to his house
From the post
from the post.
that she made. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. Because whoever posted that was aware of what
Oh,
happened.
she finally took a drink of water. It only took an hour and 20 minutes.
So they track the IP address, and then the next morning we wake up to the sound of a barking dog, which was actually the canine unit.
Check your messages. You accidentally put out the wrong person. Styles didn't do anything wrong. What? Hold on, y'all. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see a message. Is it in request? I put out the wrong person. Oh, How do I unblock somebody? Okay, we'll keep listening. I'll scroll and see if I can
two
figure that out.
Police squads surrounding the house in armored vehicles.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And I told him, I was like, what do I say? Like, what do I say? What do I do? And he said, you're gonna tell the police that your mom kicked you out, that you were kicked out, and your mom got mad at you, so you left. And I came to pick you
Okay,
up,
I got it unblocked.
and you don't know what happened. Okay, so I went down first. I surrendered first. Put me in a cop car. Then they asked me once they had me in cuffs, does he have any weapons? Does he have any bombs or anything? And I'm like, no. So they got him to come down, and they take him into custody in a separate car, and they bring us to the police station in separate cars.
Okay. And then as you're headed to the police station, what are you thinking? Is it that you fooled them because you took the photos down? And
Thank you, Tina.
I was honestly terrified for Nick.
You know what else she was doing during that time that Nick and all this was going down? She got online. She deleted the messages between her and Dan Gladwell. She also deleted VisionCon 2013 photo album. I wonder why, Gypsy. Are we going to talk about that? Are you going to say that in this interview? I'm curious.
I was terrified for him because at that point I didn't see how I could get in any trouble.
You're welcome.
I just had a conversation with him, So in my mind, I was definitely downplaying my part.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Okay. So you thought you get to the station, he would then...
Ryan has a
He would be
part.
in trouble, and I told him, I was like, I had stole money out of my mom's safe. It was like $5,000, $4,000. And with that money, I was like, I'm going to get you the best lawyer possible. We're talking like O.J. Simpson, amazing lawyer, because I had no concept of money, and how much things cost.
Okay.
So, I'm still fully in love with Nick at this point.
Yes.
I don't want him to be in trouble. I want to get him out of there. And I'm not seeing the scope of how.
Yeah, she still doesn't.
Okay. When do you then realize you're in trouble too?
Upon being charged with first-degree murder.
Actually, you knew before that because you crawled down and you were like, sir, I need a lawyer, sir.
What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Terrified.
Because that holds with it, is it life or is that...
Life without parole.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's so cute.
So then you're immediately incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for what I understand is, and then you remain incarcerated until just a few years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Walk me through the case, because you...
Ooh, walk you through the
clear to
case.
Tell me right there, I was still in love with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you fall out of love with Nick? Is it during
Thank you, babe.
the case?
It was, I
She
think
fell out of love whenever she started trading the mashed potatoes, or not mashed potatoes, biscuits and gravy for oral. Thank you.
Other than my mom that I was talking to for 2+ years, so it was like the
It has about
moment
40
that
more minutes.
I had any significant amount of time away from him.
Yeah, I'm disgusted by that too, Gemini.
And think about, is this relationship healthy?
It's so gross that this was released on the 9th of June, the day they did this.
What is it that I love about him? Am I romanticizing the crime that we just committed as an act of saving me? Or is there something more sinister that I didn't see before?
Okay. And then during that time, you're going through the court procedure. Mm-hmm. You're now off the
Thank you,
opioids.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you've reflected upon that murder multiple times.
Y'all, real fast, shout out to Occasionally Classy. They sent me an Interstellar the other night, and oh my God, it was beautiful.
What's then your feeling towards your mother?
1 second. What, buddy?
I'm going to talk you about.
Then don't worry about it. Never mind. Thank you, though. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that gift was beautiful.
So upset with
Thank you, guys.
family and with the media because we're only allowed one legacy in this life.
And yours is being a murderer.
Is their name. And I was
thank you.
feeling
Thank you,
regret
guys.
and remorse about allowing the media to paint her as a villain. When I'm like,
Thank you,
the thing
guys.
is what if she's not a villain? But
Did I used to be
rather
friends with
a
her?
very
Hell
sick
no.
Woman that needed help.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
So I started to feel a lot of guilt about that.
I will be saving this live and uploading it on YT. You hate her so much, honestly. Gypsy painted her as a villain, not the media. Exactly.
And then upon getting to prison
Thank you.
is when I started to
Y'all completed it.
feel the pain and the loss of...
I've gotten 8 out of 13 on the gift gallery. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm never going to see her again. I'm never going to be able to have this closure moment to ask her, well, why this, why that? Would she forgive me? There's no closure on either side.
I wouldn't forgive you if I was her.
There were court proceedings for you, but there's a trial.
There's a trial for him.
Nick. Why is that the case?
Because I was offered a...
Yeah, we haven't heard from Chrissy in a minute.
So
Real fast, she was offered a plea deal, so was Nick. Just throwing that out there. Because a lot of people like to say, well, she got a plea deal because of mitigating circumstances. Then what was Nick's? Exactly.
Like there was enough mitigating evidence to offer me a plea deal.
And what about Nick?
10 years in the Department of Corrections. Take it or leave it. So I took it.
Okay.
Because her attorney
Now,
told her if
I
she
know
didn't,
that
she'd do
there was-
life in prison
This is
because of
why
the
I wanted
evidence
to
against
keep
her.
my level of awareness, my radar, because this case, or should I say, this moment was all over the news. It was everywhere. It was headline news. And I recall there being two schools of thought.
Can you check the
around
mod settings,
that
please? It's only
video.
letting me mute, not block.
Or
Yeah, I
should
have it
three
set up
schools of
that way.
thought. One was, okay, that sounds about right. Another was, no way. She deserves life in sentence or worse, or life in prison or worse. And another is, no, she should get off
It's
entirely,
fixed.
completely. When you reflect on a 10-year plea deal for your
Oh,
participation,
thank you.
in
We got
murdering
9 out of the 13
you
now.
believe that was the correct sentence?
No.
You don't.
I feel like
Wait, what?
if I
Hold on.
And another is, no, she should get off entirely, completely. When
Gypsy
you
Rose.
reflect on a 10-year plea deal for your participation in murdering your mother, do you believe that was the correct sentence?
No.
You don't.
I feel like if I would have spent the rest of my life in prison, that would have been fair for the crime that was committed.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? Good job, Gypsy. I'm actually proud of you in this moment saying that you deserve life because you did. I agree with you.
Goodness. So then you feel as if Nick was given the right sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't feel like he should have be free. But I do feel like he does need a lot of mental health therapy that needs to be done with him.
Thank you.
And prison does not rehabilitate you to the best of their ability in the mental health space. They just don't.
Mark it on the
Yeah,
calendar.
If that would have been the outcome, that would have been fair for the crime that was committed. Now, do I also understand where the prosecution was coming from by offering me mercy? I do.
Okay.
So I'm appreciative for the second chance that I've been given, but I understand where people are coming from with feeling like the sentence didn't match the crime.
Okay.
Because it did not.
That's profound. For you to say that, very profound. Were you aware of the media attention that the story?
Oh, she was very aware.
But namely in the United States.
No.
She was very aware because she was setting up online profiles and having people update it and proudly saying, like, I have so many followers now. This video got this many views. She was thrilled with the attention that she was getting. So let's just know that before she goes into whatever she's about to say.
To the degree that it was. You hear little bits from other inmates and what their families tell them.
Thank you.
But there is not a lot, especially in jail. You're not even allowed to read your own articles. If they make a story and you're in it, they take it out. They rip it out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So
She's so full
all
of
the
it.
papers had like these little cutouts and holes and everything because obviously it was such a big case. But I couldn't read any of it and I couldn't watch any of it. Anytime it would come on the news, the guards would turn off the TV. So I was so kept from it.
That's interesting. So you only knew through other inmates, through the family and friends of the other inmates.
They would talk to you, yeah.
They would talk to you, and then they would tell you.
Yeah.
And what were you hearing? What were they telling you?
I mean, a range of different things like, man, your case is really big. Like, everybody's talking about it. But other than that, that's it. And then I went to prison. And then, obviously, when the act came out, Hulu's The Act, that kind of blew up. Like, that was insane. I went from just being just a case to now being a TV character.
And to Ken writing me, aw.
Okay. Did you, while in prison, did you see the act?
I did not. No, I heard about it because I was getting lots of fan
Thank
mail
you.
and talking about it. And they would ask me questions, and I didn't know what they were referring to because they had a lot of tweaks
Thank
and
you.
changes that never happened in my real life. So the things that they were referencing happened in the show.
Okay.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay. Now, hold on, Gypsy. You said you received a lot of fan mail. What was the first fan mail that you received, and how did you feel
It was
knowing that you
Kenan.
received fan mail?
Thank
So-
you, Louise.
Before the act came out, the first documentary was HBO's Mommy, Daddy, Dearest, directed by Aaron Lee Carr. And after that
That Gypsy and them
documentary,
participated
I was receiving
in.
a lot of mail, and it was supportive mail. I really don't like saying fan mail, but it was a lot of supportive
I don't really like to say fan mail. I literally just said fan mail, though.
mail from people all around the world that watched this documentary. And my story resonated with them for some reason. And
And I'm curious, in that, Gypsy, what were they writing to you? What were they saying?
telling me about their lives, a lot of them were very open to opening up about their own traumas.
Okay.
They felt like they could relate in some way or another.
The pay pig mail? Yeah.
And it was
Thank you.
It was where I didn't feel
Who
so
mentions the
alone.
director?
Like, I
Her?
started to realize that there was a lot more people out there that goes through some really hard stuff in their life.
Okay.
And I was able to form friendships with these pen pals over time.
All right, that's interesting. It's interesting. So, prison, though, is much different than your previous, living situation.
Very much.
How did you adjust to prison, to living there?
I adjusted quite well, I feel.
So the reason, real fast, somebody said because it was falsely portrayed. The reason why they have to do that is they have to make a percentage of it different from her real life. Otherwise, they would have had to pay her life rights for the show. That's why every time somebody talks about Becca's going to do a documentary, there will be things that are inaccurate in it unless they pay Gypsy and Nick for their life rights of this situation.
It was.
That's how they got the loophole of not having to pay her.
And it's crazy when people hear that from me, but it's the truth. In prison, I was able to, find myself in a controlled environment, but I was able to make friends.
Oh, 300,000 likes. Thank you, guys.
Adult, but I was able to make choices for myself, discover who I am, discover what kind of music I like, run around, go to the
Thank
gym,
you for pinning that.
go to school. I got my GED while I was in prison.
It took her a million motherfucking years.
I want to say this delicately, but I'll just say it is that. So initially, did you enjoy your time?
I won't say that it's.
She absolutely enjoyed her time. She had pay pigs while she was in there. She got to basically spend 8 years laying on a bed, having inappropriate conversations with strangers on the internet.
Enjoy.
She was doing the same thing in jail. She was doing it at her mama's.
Okay, so you enjoyed living.
It was enjoyment in a new way. Because, there was enjoyment, but at the same time...
Did Dee Dee have cancer at one time? She did.
...is the time that I missed from my family that wanted a relationship with me. That's 8.5 years of me watching my sister grow up, go to prom, my brother get married, all these life moments that now I cannot join with them in.
You wouldn't be going to prom. Girl, you were in your 20s. The fuck? Do you know how many people that weren't homeschooled, that weren't abused, don't go to prom? They just don't go. Jesus.
Prison itself, I had a routine. I had a job. I didn't so much mind living there. If I had no family to go home to, prison probably wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Interesting. Yeah, and I also thinking that you didn't have
She did say prison was basically a daycare for adults.
Your entire life, you haven't had any friends. You don't know how to navigate that. You haven't had experiences of people, being your friend for ulterior reasons or not.
Exactly.
So how did you navigate that in prison?
I'm still navigating that to this day. But I will say
I didn't go to my senior prom. I went to my baby daddy's.
That I'm still friends with to this day.
I was pregnant at
They
prom.
are both currently still locked up. But there was never a time where I felt taken advantage of by them. And for me, that's big.
Now, I also know in prison is where you met your previous husband.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So
Why are we about to talk about Ryan?
Oh, God.
First, how do you meet and marry someone while being in prison? How do you do that?
Well, I had received a letter from a man that's local, like a Louisiana-born native. So I was like, oh, it's someone, from
Thank you.
my neck of the woods, a Louisiana Cajun boy.
Yes.
So I wrote back, and he seemed very sweet, and we made friends. It's not like we got into a relationship right out the gate.
Y'all pretty much did, though.
He made me laugh. And that was something that is needed sometimes in prison.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need someone to make you laugh.
Okay, all right, I see it. So now, how many men were writing you supportive letters?
There was Brian, there was Joe, there was Ken, there was Ryan.
What was the incoming like?
I mean, the incoming, I was getting a mix. I would get hundreds of letters. So I didn't write back to them.
Hundreds.
And I mean, I would say in the months
Jeff.
after a documentary or the act came out. And it got to be
You're
where
welcome.
the prison no longer had physical mail. They have tablets now with its own email system.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the emails would come in through that certain system.
JPEG.
And it was hundreds, over the course of the next few months after the act came out. I mean, that's exactly how I met my current boyfriend. I mean, I met my current boyfriend before I met my ex-husband.
Did you?
Yes. So my current boyfriend, his name is Ken.
Okay.
He wrote me after watching Mommy, Dead, and Dearest.
Okay.
It was a supportive letter, not on any kind of romantic level. He gave me his work schedule. I gave him a call. Within 5 minutes of talking on the phone, I felt like we had known each other our whole lives, besties.
Really? Well, you have to help me on this. Because dating, this is an area that I know. But I don't know about prison dating.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what? I have no words.
He sends you a letter.
Mhm.
In the letter, he includes his schedule.
Yeah, like work times. This is my phone number.
Just
this is
like
when I
me.
work.
So he's already then approaching you in a romantic way.
No. I mean, that's just calls are calls. I mean, it's not like you can, do very much, but like calls is how you, talk to people, get to know people.
So you're getting hundreds of supportive.
Ken was probably high as fuck whenever he wrote that.
Overall mattress, which is the Helix Midnight Luxe. Now, this is the epitome of luxury.
Male and email.
Yeah.
But how many of those are people that you believe are trying to actively engage?
I'm sorry, I'm making you yawn.
I mean, I would say about
almost nap time.
60% of them. I have my own thoughts on that.
Yes. Well, please, because I know that is a fetish.
Okay.
Baby
I have my
daddy, not
thoughts.
current boyfriend.
My thought is that didn't get a chance to watch the documentary
I like that he called out for some men this is a fetish.
until I was already out of prison. So upon watching the documentary, from what I kind of gather is, watching my story and then kind of watching where I was at that time, I feel like men instinctually want to protect. And then I'm also
not her with her wanting
so I can see how
night
I can go
savior.
that route too. So that's my thoughts.
She's kind of a flirty person. Is that what she just said? Look, this is her. She's thinking of Rogie in this. I'm kind of a flirty person. Right now he's eating brownies and later he'll be eating me. Ugh, gross.
Okay, all right. What was in the early time in prison? What do you believe your self-esteem levels were?
Very low.
Very high. She's always had very high self-esteem.
It must have been a thrill then to get this supportive male.
Oh, of course.
It's validation. It's external validation.
Absolutely.
Right. That I can also see it's very hard then to discern who to respond to. So you
Rest in peace,
have
Dee Dee.
an ongoing relationship or messaging back and forth with Ken. But then also, so then how does Ryan come into play?
Ryan, okay, so Ken and I dated, and my parents, he got to meet my parents. We got engaged. After 2 years, we got engaged.
Oh my goodness, okay.
They made e-news. It was all over the news. It was all over every media tabloid. And he left me.
Ken did?
Yeah, he dumped me. In October, it was the day after his birthday. Same year we got engaged. He left me and broke my heart. When I tell you, we still sometimes have arguments about him. I say abandoning.
Do you want to see the arguments? Do you want to see? Hold on. I just want to remind you of what their fights look like. Well, at least Gypsy's end of the fight. Her reaction. Let's just go on over to my videos in my phone. I present to y'all how Gypsy reacts after arguments.
This is all that I've ever been to you.
Hold on. Where will I wind it? Play, damn it.
This is all that I've ever been to you. This is how I feel about you. Lies! All it is lies! Lies, lies, lies! Fucking soulmates, the hell you are!
The hell you are.
Lies! All of it! All of it! All of it! Nothing but fucking lies!
Look at the poor dog. He's like, what is she doing? This bitch is crazy.
Go back to your fickle blood whore! Fuck you!
The fact that Parker doesn't react tells me he sees this kind of behavior all too often. Often, not option. Okay.
Because
yeah, Parker's in the back like, get this bitch an
I
exorcism.
needed someone. I needed support. I needed someone to ride or die with me through the thick and the thin of it, And I felt like he was going to be that one. And for him to turn
Parker's
off
used
all
to it.
emotion and not answer my call.
Real fast, no, he did not cheat. She found a letter from an ex.
And then go on to get into another relationship. He got with another girl literally 2 months after leaving me. And went on to have a 4.5-year relationship with that woman.
And she was a blonde bimbo. The lies.
So, also 2020 was the year of COVID. So, Ryan wrote me during COVID after watching the documentary. And unfortunately, his was a lot different than Ken's, though.
Okay.
Ken, a friend of his named Diane, had watched my documentary first and was like, hey, you gotta watch this documentary.
I know she's pissed about the fact that they showed her arms jiggle during this.
Whereas Ryan watched it, then was at work having a conversation with a coworker. The coworker said, hey, I've been watching a lot of things about Tiger King. And then Ryan was like, well, if you write Tiger King, I'll write Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And then it was on a dare. Okay? And at the time, I was like, okay, it's whatever. It's whatever.
I blocked the account offering to pay rent.
2020 was a very lonely year for me. And he made me laugh. And there were many times that I felt like I was not physically attracted to him. But
I feel so bad for Ryan in this situation. Yes, we know you weren't physically attracted, but you don't have to keep fucking saying it.
I was getting emotional comfort. So much so that, when he was like...
And let me just say, as somebody closer to 40 than 20, emotional comfort is the partner you want. Not the one with the best body, not the one with the best hair. You want somebody you can be comfortable with, because sex is not lifelong. You are going to start getting older where you're not wanting to do it every single fucking day. So you picked the wrong one. Sorry.
I want to get married. Like, there were several times I told him, I'm like, I just think of you like a brother, or like, I think of you like cuddle buddy, you know. But he was always just has to be romantic, has to be romantic, has to be romantic. And then later, you know, the prison emails between us back and forth were released to the public.
A cuddle buddy that was a brother.
See how he was so aggressive at wanting the relationship or nothing. And so essentially,
it wasn't the relationship or nothing. He said he would be your bellhop, your boy toy. He listed all kinds of things he would be. He just wanted to be in your life. He was expressing that. Aggressive, I would agree. But do you want to know what Ken was interested in? Nothing. You and him only talked about dressing up in furry costumes and licking each other's chocolate Pop-Tart. At least Ryan had real fucking conversations with you.
I married him for the wrong reasons. I was like, I felt like I settled. I felt like if I couldn't have Ken, I didn't want to die alone. And I wanted to at least prove to myself
Ken
that
is
I
interested in
could
money.
move past my heartbreak with Ken and go on to marry someone and be okay with just that. And I wasn't. We were married for like a year and a half.
And even the marriage, so the marriage, the actual wedding ceremony, it must have taken place in prison.
It did, in the visitation room by the bathroom.
Wow, okay, romantic.
Yeah, so romantic.
Yes, and who then attends your wedding?
The only person that attended was my friend, the OG friend.
I just want y'all to know, the star of the show, her father couldn't attend because it was hunting season. Once again, proving he doesn't give a fuck about Gypsy, but she still can't see that. He even wrote her while she was in jail being like, you're going to get married when it's hunting season? How will I ever put out one hunt to go see my daughter's wedding?
And my parents couldn't come, I think, because like the COVID stuff was still going on, so there was so much
No.
limiting.
It was because he was hunting.
People could come visit at one time, I think. So, it was just my friend, and that's it.
So I have to ask this too: is
you don't get married during hunting and football season?
In prison?
7 and a half.
Okay, 7.5. Okay, you'd served 7.5 years, and you felt as if you had only a few more years left, because you didn't know if you'd be released early,
right,
or not.
I had my parole hearing in December of 2021.
Okay.
And so I knew when I would be going home. I knew my release date.
Wow.
At that point.
So you knew you were within a year.
Mm-hmm.
She knew her release date way before. If you go back, Mia's getting married during hunting season. Sure enough, he'll be there. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the day that she received her sentencing. The judge says you are sentenced for 10 years. You will be remanded in a Missouri prison for 8.5 years. She always knew she would only serve 8.5 years because of the way Missouri law is written. Gypsy did not get early release, like she likes to say. They held her the max amount of time they could.
So Gypsy,
why do it?
Why?
Yeah, fuck Missouri.
Okay, well, because I was not paroling to the state of Missouri, I was paroling to the state of Louisiana. I had to enter into something called an interstate compact. Okay. So what that means is you can parole to a spouse or a family member, but you cannot parole to a boyfriend. So I could have paroled to my family.
But she didn't want to go to her family. She wanted to go to somebody. Thank you.
And then, of course, I wanted to live with my boyfriend who had been waiting a few years for me. So, I struggled with, do I go live with my family or do I go live with a partner that has been waiting for me? And so that was the benefit of why then.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. I see it.
So she finally admits it.
What happens? How do you two break up?
Well,
she cheated. That's how they broke up.
I get released, and I go home with him. We had an apartment in Lake Charles, and I'm not going to say that I was unhappy. I was not unhappy. We had taken a trip to New York because we were filming a reality TV show, essentially.
Essentially, you were.
We were.
Like, it started a few days before I got out. The Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup series. And so we are navigating, filming this show
3 months later.
Life, present day. And so that adds such an element of stress to it. I mean, it was a wonderful show. I'm appreciative for the opportunity to go ahead and do it. But it was a level of stress, too. Because it's cameras all in your face. I mean, the very first night that I got out, there's cameras in the bedroom with me and Ryan.
Wow.
And it's freaking me out because it's like my eyes were even trying to adjust to the color. Because in prison, everything is so beige, so, gray. It's colorless, pretty much. And out in the real world, there's so many vibrant colors. So, I'm adjusting to seeing colors. And the last thing I want to do is be on a camera while...
Prison's so sad and beige, yet she goes for the sad beige aesthetic. Not aesthetic, wow.
My husband
colors.
Was trying to get groovy,
Right.
You was trying to get groovy. You were literally like, we consummated our marriage.
This is what's happening.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
her first time seeing color. Yeah.
The cameras left, so they didn't get any sort of intimate anything. We consummated our marriage.
To the people mentioning I keep yawning, y'all, I get up super early for work, and I usually come home and take a nap, and I skip my nap to do this.
That night, upon release, there was this whole thing called the D is fire, and it was, I feel terrible for even saying this, but, Ryan
Then
was
don't
like,
fucking say it.
please, whatever you do, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. So I was like, I got you. Don't worry. No matter what it's like, I got you. You know?
So this is your commentary
So then she went on to embarrass him by telling everybody about his medical condition. Okay, Gypsy.
on your first night together,
Yeah.
sexually.
Yeah.
And you said that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it was terrible. Now I've had better, but
Okay. So relatively speaking, it was not.
That is so fucked up. She just said Ryan begged her not to embarrass him, and then she does this.
It was mid.
It was mid, as the kids say. Yeah. So now I have to ask this.
This is gross behavior.
Was that so? You were how old at this point?
32.
You're 32.
32.
What I find interesting is you were in your teens.
Expose her, yeah.
You were trying to, go through puberty.
Mhm.
Like so many of us, you want to have a romantic relationship, right? You want to explore sex.
Mm-hmm.
You attempted, were unsuccessful at consensual sex.
Mhm.
Was that your first time having consensual sex?
Yes.
At 32.
Bitch, no the fuck it wasn't. You and Nick fucked like rabbits at Nick's house. And Nick's dad even said, I had to tell them to be quiet. You fucked consensually at the hotel room. What do you mean this was your first consensual experience?
Yes.
So that experience, what is that experience like for you?
It's hard because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, and I wasn't comfortable. I mean, I hadn't had
The
a lot
movie
of
theater?
therapy, like one-on-one therapy to work on the trauma that I had experienced. So,
She had therapy in
unfortunately,
prison.
And I told Ryan this too. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I just, I feel like I have not gotten to a point where I could enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm too busy thinking about the past.
Yes.
And I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. And this makes sense, to me.
Let's also not forget she had her biscuit ate in prison, so you were having consensual sex. Just because a wiener didn't go into you doesn't mean it wasn't sex, girl.
You were, your ex, we'll call him your ex.
How much longer? It's got about 20 minutes.
To life in prison, knowing that your mother is no longer here, and you played a role in her no longer being here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel leaving prison early?
Leaving prison early, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't think of anything other than my own happiness at the time.
Okay, that's fair. And can we acknowledge that you are a public
Yeah, I
figure?
never call out her lies.
You are a celebrity.
I hate that word.
Okay, you're a public figure. I'll go with public figure.
Okay.
You are well known. You are well recognized. Perhaps having one of the most recognized.
She hates being called a celebrity, but she also calls herself a celebrity. Okay, Gypsy.
Recognizable childhoods of any, American.
Mm.
How do you deal with the attention right when you get out? Because one thing that I was quite shocked at was how many people came to your support.
Mhm.
It felt like, if you look at your social media, for example.
Yeah, far from a celebrity. She's
Very
infamous.
quickly followed by millions of people. I mean, how does that feel?
I was not expecting it, and I was not ready for it.
She was expecting it because in the prison emails, all she talked about was the amount of followers that she was gaining on social media.
When family and friends said, we're going to need to protect our girl because she doesn't know what she's coming out to. I was expecting hate. I was expecting
And you
I
got
was gonna
that.
be hated like Casey Anthony is hated.
And you
but
are.
It was the opposite.
At
Like you said,
first.
I gained millions of followers, which my brain couldn't even wrap my head around. What 9 million followers on TikTok and 9 million followers on Instagram.
She had 10 million. She's lost 1 million. I just want to put that out there.
It even is. And then going just to Walmart, going to the grocery store, going to a mall, having people run up to you and want to take a selfie with you and things like this. None
Millions
of
of
that I was
bots.
prepared for. And so, yes, it was flattering, but at the same time, I also had people that I have weird reactions too, because it's like some people are like, I would have did exactly what you did. And I'm just like, please don't. I'm not trying to be out here advocating for murder. This is not how you become famous. This is the result.
I agree
of
with
what
you, Gypsy, but your
happens
actions show that
when
you do think that.
Tragedy meets tragedy meets tragedy again and again and again, and the system fails, and people get hurt. There's so many more stories of childhood abuse that don't get talked about. But the only ones that we want to recognize are the ones that a Lifetime series, a Netflix show, an HBO show, and worldwide attention is thrust upon. Why not take some of that spotlight and give it to all the victims? Because I'm not the face of Munchausen by
You're
proxy.
not a victim.
I never wanted to be, never claimed to be. This is my life.
Never wanted to be? Girl, you wrote in your prison emails you wanted to be an advocate for it. You said it out of prison you wanted to be an advocate for it. Stop. Somebody block this Britney person. Hold on, let me find them. Okay, Jameson muted her. Thank you, Jameson.
Y'all made me this. I didn't.
Powerful. It's powerful. I can see that in particular, that this is an area that now it's interesting. It's been given to you.
What were they
Thanks
saying?
for this. But this this platform, if you will, has been handed to you. You know, and I can see that you acknowledge that. So coming out of then prison, you have this attention, but you're still married. Then you have the television show, right?
That I was
curious, though,
involved.
about
Okay.
how you begin to adjust to life, because from what I understand, this is your first time now living life.
It's not our first
in your
time.
30s.
Yeah.
It's your first time
Oh, thank you.
walking down the street without having
My mom.
your mom
Yeah, or a prison guard.
or a prison guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your first time turning on the television.
And just be like, I would watch
Her first time turning on a television? Be so fucking for real. We all seen the Disney television in your living room.
the show, you know?
Your first time interacting with people. You know, what was that like?
It felt so freeing, and everything was trial and error. Everything.
Okay.
You know, learning
Thank
how to
you.
cook, learning how to do this, and learning how to do that.
Still
At
don't
the
know
time
how to
I
cook.
didn't know how to drive. Like, I didn't have a driver's license. I never drove a car before. So this is all stuff. I felt like I was learning how to be going through a teen year, a 20s, and
It's
now
almost
a lady in 30s.
over,
It's
y'all.
supposed to be exactly
It's got
where
like
I'm
20
supposed
minutes
to be.
left.
And
Or 18-ish.
people watched me
I
go
don't know.
through many different fails, many different challenges. People have often said, like, tell me I have my age. I tell them, can you give me the 23 years that I was with my mom, or the 8.5 years I was in prison and got to miss out on all this?
At your age
So
still.
please do give me another 32 to catch up.
Stop using the victim mentality.
I'm making decisions on my own and trying to figure out what's right. And I'm doing it in front of the world.
Yes. So you feel the pressure.
Yes. Blame me all you
Then
want.
do something with your life. I don't know. Go to college. Do something beneficial. All you're doing is sitting at home and raising your child. And I'm not saying that that is wrong, but don't sit here and say people are watching and wanting me to do something, and then you do nothing other than talk shit on the internet all day long.
I'm making stupid life decisions that a teen would make,
But you feel like that there's
nothing that I have done
Uh-uh.
that
Nope.
feel like someone could justify saying that
We're not put real fast. I know my mods are in here, but absolutely do not put people's addresses in the fucking comments. That is the quickest way to get blocked on here. We don't do that. We don't talk about children in a horrible way or say bad things about them. Stop doing that shit. Y'all are horrible fucking people, the people doing that.
not that way.
but yet do you hear that? You hear those statements?
No, yeah, I hear those statements all the time.
And I mean, what are they? What are those statements, and who's saying them?
I mean, it's.
I
it's
almost
just
missed it.
online
I just happened to
trolls.
look down and see it.
Might be username 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, Ken's still with her.
But you know, you don't know if it's bots or if it's people with actual opinions. But opinions, everybody has one. And you know, all that I have done in my life, since out of prison, is learn who I am. And like I say, I'm not perfect, but whatever it is, whether it be I had my daughter
I did
out
get
of
'em.
wedlock, I divorced my ex-husband, they throw that in my face like that's a crime. And I'm like, if you would realize that's not the worst thing.
No, murder is. Just saying.
Okay?
Yes.
Be thankful that the
Thank
little stupid
you.
shit is just all I'm doing.
Yes. So you decided to divorce Ryan. Was it in order to have a relationship?
Yeah,
with him?
hacking up your
You wanted
mom's
one,
voice.
or it was the chance at having a relationship with him?
It was to have one with him because she was already talking to him.
The chance.
It wasn't
It
the
was not a
chance.
guaranteed thing at first.
Okay.
Until I got pregnant.
I started to drop those hints to Ryan, and then one night, it was actually on Valentine's Day of 2024.
Okay.
And
What a
I woke
fucked
him
up day to do it.
that day, and instead of being like, I love you, honey, I woke him up telling him how I had a dream about Ken, and I missed Ken. Wow. And so I was always...
Because she has to
scared
hurt people in the most hurtful fucking
I
way.
wasn't to hurt his feelings, but I'm kind of like, this is where I'm at with it. Can we have a conversation about it?
Yes.
So nothing was ever kept from him in the dark. He was not blindsided about how I felt about Ken. He knew. And so one night I had put a note by
dates
his
are
bed,
significant to
and I
her.
said, I'm so sorry. You know, here's the ring back. So he came home, he saw that, he crumpled it up, threw it, kind of cried or whatever in the room for a little bit while I posted up in the separate bedroom. And then an argument had happened. And in this argument, he's yelling at me, and he is standing by the bedroom door. And he opens it up
I swear to God, if she says she went into a bathroom right now.
really quickly as I'm like, can we just have a conversation about this? And he opens it up a little too quickly and steps forward a little faster than I'm used to. And it triggered me. Now, is he a violent person? No. Would he ever hurt me? I don't feel like he would. But in that moment, I felt triggered. And so I call my sister.
And was like, can you kill this guy?
Ryan and I are arguing, like, I thought
She said, Mia, would you protect me from anybody? Even my husband?
he came at me.
This bitch.
Can you please come pick me up? So my sister comes to pick me up. I spend a few days with her, and then I go to my stepmom and dad's house, and I file for divorce.
You know what she's skipping? The fact that Ken and Christy took her to that lawyer's office to file for the divorce.
Family acquaintance unfortunately talked to the media and proceeded to tell TMZ that Ryan threatened me, that he was abusive.
You literally recorded going to his house pretending like he was abusive. The fuck?
I never said Ryan was abusive. I said he came at me and was in my face yelling, which he was. But is he an abuser? No.
Yeah, selective inconvenient triggers.
I clarify that up. Like, I never claimed Ryan was abusive.
Okay.
Awkward. She said, I never claimed Ryan was abusive, and then made contact again with her eyes.
Therapy, if any, at that point.
Okay.
And so I had not dealt with certain situations like yelling, arguments, stuff like that. Again, I had been in prison, and my defense is like, okay, I'm gonna leave the situation.
Yes.
I'm gonna if anything pops off that I don't like, I'm leaving. I didn't leave before, but I sure as fuck will now.
Yes. Didn't you file a temporary? It was temporary.
Yeah, the accident
against Ryan.
That was not. It was not a restraining order in that way.
Okay.
So my lawyer, divorce attorney, handled everything. She took care of it all. I made no requests. She's like, we're gonna do this, 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 and this. Okay. I didn't understand any of it. I was like, okay, whatever you feel is best is best. The restraining order pertained to our finances. The restraining order basically said you can't touch the money that's in the joint checking account without it being for things like necessities. You can't go out and buy a car. So it just.
But Gypsy could touch it.
Halt to our finances.
Okay, and this makes sense to me as well because I would imagine.
Yeah, always the naive victim.
The volume of television shows that were out about you and the interest that there was probably a significant amount of money made. In that period of time, and you were married, so now it becomes this.
Now it's our money.
It's our. It's a joint asset.
Yeah.
So was that the main challenge with the divorce? Was then how do you?
Yeah, she didn't take accountability for cheating.
We actually, my lawyer said that I could get 50, half and half.
Okay.
So we have to have it. Whatever was in the joint checking at the time, we have to have it.
Okay. Even though, I mean, quite honestly, it seems like the money was generated because of you.
I mean, that was probably only about $40,000 that was in that account at the time.
Okay.
Because the show money came in like so many months. It didn't come in one.
And her dad had money for her in a trust fund.
Okay.
So by the time that all of the show money came in, I had already moved banks, had my own bank.
Okay, fair enough. So then you two split.
The chance of me and Ken getting back together, I wasn't sure. It wasn't a for sure thing. I wanted to at least see him. We hadn't seen him in 4.5, 5 years. So I wanted to see, am I crazy, or do we still have this like spark?
Yes.
So he came to visit me at my parents' house. Comes, we meet up, we decide we're gonna get a hotel.
Thank you, Jameson.
And we're gonna go do a tour. We're gonna go do a whole New Orleans day trip.
Yes.
And the level, when I tell you, I don't know how to ever explain the love and happiness that I felt. I hope that everybody in the world gets to experience that feeling of happiness and just in love ever. Like, it was amazing. And I just knew, I'm like, I'm in love. This is it, and I know what I have to do.
Yes. And then you said then a month later, so then you're.
I know what I have to do. I have to have him nutting me so that he can never leave.
Together then for a month, and then a month after that.
I got pregnant. We had got back together. Like we had a weekend of having that New Orleans weekend. Had a great time. He comes back a month later, and that's when I got pregnant. And then I find out.
So she said she got pregnant a month later after the New Orleans thing. Y'all, she just gave it up that happened before she left Ryan, because she got pregnant less than a month after breaking up with Ryan, which is why they had to do paternity tests and all that stuff. So, bitch, you just admitted right here on this interview, you did indeed cheat on Ryan. You went to New Orleans with Ken.
A month later, I was pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to show you a photo.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh boy.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's going to be the husky
What is
tattoo.
In this photo, who are you with?
Aww. So.
Oh, it's a picture of her and Ken at the hospital.
Okay.
So this is Ken, and this is our baby girl Aurora.
All right.
This photo was taken 1 year after I got out.
It wasn't a mystery, but she's always denied it.
Really?
She was born on December 28th of 2024.
Okay.
I got out December 28th of 2023.
You could not have planned that. I mean, that is incredible. I did not know that it was 1 year.
1 year.
To the date.
Yes.
So
3 months after getting out of prison, she gets knocked up. Yeah, the dates again.
I think it is. I mean, I think it's healing. Of course, when I found out I was pregnant, a lot of people were like, how do you feel becoming a mom?
She said, I don't have time to donate to a kid whenever it was Ryan's potential baby. But as soon as she knew it was Ken's little nut that was in there, all of a sudden she had the time.
Not having a great mom yourself. And of course, it's like, I can say this and that in an interview thinking, okay, well, maybe this is how I might feel. But it wasn't until I had her, she was 2 weeks old, I was rocking the recliner, and I looked at her, And there was just something that hit me. It felt like I was going through trauma all over again by thinking to myself, how can a parent ever hurt or cause any harm to their child or any child? And I just started to cry. And I held her. I'm going to lose. Sorry.
She's actually going to tear up. This whole interview is the only thing she's tear up.
I love you. I love you so much. And Mommy's never going to let anything happen to you. Because in my heart, I felt like I was hugging a baby me. I just felt like I wanted to love her like I wasn't. And I wanted to give her everything that I wasn't. And
The only emotion I've ever seen her give. There's actual real tears for this.
I'm sorry.
No. I'll tell you what, you never have to apologize for allowing us all, to see you in your emotion. That's all you wanted. That's all you wanted as a little girl, was to feel loved, was to feel safe.
Yeah, making it about her trauma.
And isn't it so interesting what life gives you?
Yeah.
Right? And now here you're in a moment where you didn't receive it, but you're going to be able to give it.
Yep. And it also gives, my dad...
More guilt than emotion.
Too, because, my dad didn't get a chance to be around in my life as much as he wanted.
Your dad didn't want to be in your life. We've seen that from the Foyas. God, girl, just give it up. Except your daddy didn't want to be in your life until you became a fucking paycheck.
And
Good
so
Lord.
Now, watching my dad be a part of her life, too, is also very healing, too.
Yes. Look at that relationship with your father now.
Yeah, and the emails.
Yeah. When you just think about the future, the next chapter, right?
Nope, he's not calling her out. He's just letting her
What are your dreams?
say her same lies, basically.
There's my professional life, and then there's my personal life. And my personal life, I want to have another child. Get married, buy a house. And then in their professional space, I personally am starting my own podcast.
There you go. Love it.
And so this podcast is going to be conversations, real conversations like this that you're having with me, about people who have gone through trauma, but also have
professional
been
life.
defined by the worst moments in their life. And it's a redemption of how do they get from there to where they want to be. It's a real one-on-one conversation, and it's not just celebrities. We're talking average people. We're talking...
Everybody but Ken's sister, right? Because you didn't want to put out her story, even though she is a victim of being trafficked. But no, her story wasn't good enough for your podcast, huh?
Celebrities, we're talking anybody. Because everybody has had trauma. Everybody has had something happen to them. And no trauma is greater than anyone else's trauma. Trauma's trauma. And it is so therapeutic to talk about it with someone, especially when that someone has gone through trauma themselves.
Yes. I'm with you. I think more conversation needs to be had so that we can normalize the fact that trauma is an experience that we all go through. And to your point is that, and then you can come out on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost
you
over.
Can heal.
Heal from
And I think
it's got 8 minutes.
Given the platform that's been thrusted upon me, that's probably one of the best ways to
it wasn't thrusted upon her.
There is something I like to end on. There's a question that everyone gets, but before that, I have one last thing that I want to show you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, get ready. Okay, here it comes. All right, so now, this is my favorite photo of the entire batch.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who's in this photo. Okay. And then I have a question for you about this photo. Ready?
Aw, that's me.
Look at that. Look at you.
It should have been a photo of Dee Dee.
Yes. Do you know roughly how old you are in this?
Oh, goodness. Maybe 2?
Okay. Yes. So this is young you. This is a very, very young you. All right. This is you.
That's me.
In what I'm sure you would consider to be good times. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'd love for you to do is tell me what you would like to tell her.
I would tell her that
Hold on.
she's loved.
We're going to pause this. I'm going to play this one for y'all.
I would tell her that she's loved. And that life is going to be hard. Life is going to be really hard. But do not give up. Because your daddy loves you. Your daddy loves you a lot. And so does Aunt Christy. And your brother and your sister, they love you very much. And someday, a little girl is going to love you. You're going to mean everything to her. And everything you wanted in life is going to happen for you. But you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be very, very strong.
Why the fuck did she say Auntie Christy? What? You're going to have to be really, really strong. Why not? Hey, if I could tell you something, it'd be don't murk your mother. There's other ways of getting what you want.
You know what? She was. She was.
You're making me cry.
No, you know what I love, what I have loved about it, and I'll hold on to that. I think it's such a beautiful photo. I love it.
They didn't show what the
Very
photo
stylish,
was.
by the way. Those
Yeah, the
overalls.
overalls.
Do you know, I wear overalls to this day.
Really?
Yeah, I think I have your entire outfit.
Oh my goodness.
I think I have that. What I think appreciated
Yeah, that was
most
weird.
from you in this conversation is I feel like there's been a sense of vulnerability and openness
And more
and
lies.
light, right, to you in this conversation. I'm just that I've loved, right? Your level of reflection will stay with me. This is hands down one of the most memorable conversations that I've had. Been doing this podcast for the last 2 years. You've exceeded my expectation in terms of your transparency in
In the next 5 seconds, you'll see Nadia go from sketch to clay to shape, and become a left side.
in the story. You know,
Who
and
paid
I
him?
wish you all of the most amazing things that this life can give you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and most
Auntie
importantly
Christy.
is I wish you the ability to give yourself beyond grace but forgiveness.
I'll work on it.
Yes, beyond. There is a final question
Okay.
that everyone gets, and that question is this: Gypsy, you've had some phenomenal conversations
Yes.
in your life.
Yes.
When you think about the most memorable conversation, who was it with, and what did you learn?
Would it be too cheesy to say you?
Such a
It
kiss
wouldn't.
ass.
Okay, so this has to be a really good conversation. In all the times that I have done interviews, I have never had anyone really listen to me. Until now. And give me the freedom to share whatever I wanted to.
Never
So
had
thank you for
anybody
that.
listen. She's so full of shit.
Welcome. You're welcome. I wish you the best in your advocacy work. There are millions of people who adore you, right? And now
She learned to lie and manipulate.
You're gonna have to come on my podcast.
Oh yeah, we can unpack my trauma.
Yay!
I'm from New York. I have a lot of trauma.
Okay. We look forward to it. We're gonna talk.
we do need to talk. Yeah.
That was the interview, y'all. The only thing that I am going to take away from that is that Gypsy finally admitted out of her own mouth she deserved life in prison for the crime. So I will give her credit for that. There was a lot of lies spread throughout the interview. Yeah, I'm going to process because I listened to the first 20 minutes twice, but I did not get to listen to the whole thing till I listened to it with y'all. So I, too, need to process. So, yeah, the question seemed pre-approved. Maybe. Watch it again. I'm going to have to watch it back whenever I edit this because I am going to put it over on YT, but I'm going to edit out where the ads pop up. So, you hope what? I hope he does a follow-up. I doubt he will. I need to stab a blanket. Cut it. All you heard was more lies. He didn't clock her on anything. Just let her lie. Maybe that's the goal, though, for some of these people, because if she lies, whether they get bad comments, they're getting interaction. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Thank you all for the gifts today. I did see them, so I do appreciate that. Sorry, I was just trying not to interrupt as much as I already was interrupting. But whenever I did see them, I did throw up little heart hands for y'all. So I will put this thank you over on YT as well in order for people to see it. It will take a while for it to download because right now it is almost 3 hours long. So I will have to download it and then I will have to go back and rewatch it to edit those things out. So I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a good day. While this downloads, I'm going to go take my nap that I usually take. Oh my God, thank you. So pretty. You are amazing for that. Thank you, Occasionally Classy. You are always doing the absolute most with the gifts. I see you. I appreciate you. I tried to look you up the other day to send you like a thank you message, but I couldn't pull you up. So I don't know why. If you could, please send me a message. I would love to tell you thank you. So, okay. All right. I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. Don't do anything Gypsy would do and be honest, people. And let me know what you think. All right. Bye, y'all.